So it's good, man.
Growing and showing.
Growing and showing.
I'm gonna put my headphones on too. Actually, I'm gonna go grab those.
What up? What up? What up? What up? We are live with Marco. Always Marco is here in studio, in the StreamYard studio. We are live. Urena Brew is here in the comments. Avid tuber, $10 million studio malfunctioning. Is it? What? You can't hear me? Yo, Habibi, what's up? Oh, are you guys saying because we didn't do 1 p.m.? Hey, it's fine. It's fine. Y'all did your part. You know what I mean? I got to make sure y'all are doing your part. But also, there's a lot going on here. I might have to go to India. Emergency India trip. Okay, I sit down to work. I try to start. You know what I mean? But it's always last second. I gotta just move out of my mom's house. It's ridiculous. But last second, whenever I'm about to stream, she's like, "Amish, please help me." Like anytime I'm like in a rush to get to work, please you take the bed. Like it's just that's the moment it comes, and it's all shit for me. Like she's just cooking for me or doing. So I can't really get mad. I can't be like, "What?" It's like she's like, I just want to know when you want to eat. I want to make food at the right time for you. It's like, okay, well, so look, broadcast has to suffer. The crazy thing is that she's never like this. People, I feel like I know so many people from India. This is going to sound so racist, but they just don't know what time is like that. Like it's almost like time is is like the white man's tool of oppression. And it's like too much. It's like, they're like, hey. Don't be a jerk about it. Like, it's fine. 1 means 1:45. It's fine. It's color people time. Get over it. Like, it's almost like don't be like weird about it. I don't know. That's the attitude I get from people, a lot of people. And they run businesses. That's what kills me. They run successful businesses. They have all the money. They're killing it. They're going to rule us or something. Like, they're going to have all the shit. But at the same time, I'm just like, no schedules. No one's having a schedule. It's fine. Getting it done. So whatever. He was here with always Marco. Marco.
I like how I walked away right as you were introducing me. I apologize. I was
good,
like,
man.
Let me grab my headphones.
All good. Brezed.
What's up, everyone? Cheers. Go thumbs up the ting and let's do it.
Thumbs it up and let's go, baby. Let's go. Thanks, man. Thanks for grabbing a drink.
Your setup looks so great, bro. Your setup looks so crispy.
Thank you, brothers. You too, man.
Nah, your lighting is better than mine. I'm looking a little like pale for some reason. Let me change the warmth on my light here. There we go.
Let me give it some color. You know what I'm saying? Give it some color. There it does. You get ghosty sometimes.
I get a little bit. Well, there's no vitamin D here in Edmonton.
Right.
It's overexposed, contrasty white sky, white ground with the snow.
Yes, there is suffering over there. It seems like Alberta is like suffering. One of my favorite movies ever is Fubar 2. Have you seen it?
I was in it.
You were in Fubar 2?
I was an extra in Fubar 2.
Oh my god, dude! It's one of the most rip and dip movies. It's like one of the most incredible movies
I've never seen it though.
You never saw the movie?
But I was in it.
Oh my god, dude! That's too cool. You gotta see.
I've never seen because I was too young. I think I was like 14 or something, and my parents didn't actually let me watch the movie. And they had said to us that me and my brother that were in it, that we were cut from the scene. Like the scene was. Go ahead. The scene was like we were in West Edmonton Mall in the water park. Me and my brother positioned ourselves to like walk right in the background of where the main characters were doing like their scene.
Yeah.
They have a scene where they're like bantering in the water park, but we got cut out of that scene apparently in the final cut. I don't know. I've never seen the movie. Maybe I am in it. I don't know.
That's sick, dude. Let's check it out. I just want to show the trailer. This is one of the most I just want to tell people to watch this movie. It's so tight. You can hear that?
Yeah.
In 2002, one motion picture took the world by storm, inspiring a generation. Yes. Now, in 2010, Terry and Diener are back.
This movie rips, dude.
Parties run out of beer, but that ain't gonna happen today. That's a fact. Oh, Terry! Yeah!
It's one of the best movies.
This time,
it's so tight.
Party at our house, we're getting kicked out. What? Kind of evicted a little bit.
They're going where they've never gone before.
Tron got us jobs. We're going to Fort McMurray.
To work.
Know that we both know that we don't know what we're doing. Knowledge of non-knowledge is power.
This fall.
Get down! Oh, you wild animal!
Give her your all.
I got 2 skills. This one and this one. The pair of skills.
I'm so proud of this movie. It's like one of the
I'm
best.
so surprised you are a fan of this movie.
Give her your
The big fan. It really is an inspiration.
Really?
It really
It's
is
because it's such like a Canadian white dude like humor.
It is. I mean,
like
it's a comedy movie humor. It's a little blue collar. It's a little blue collar.
This me and you being like hosting this episode of The Drip right now is the most Canadian thing to ever happen, because within a short matter of like a year since The Drip has been a thing, two brown people have taken it over completely.
It is ours, brother. It is
it's ours. We claimed it. It's ours.
We have taken it over completely.
Yeah,
I gotta flip us. Hold up. I just want to make it like.
Yeah, I'm player 2. Put me player 2.
There we go. What up?
There you go.
There's something about that. I like that on the camera. If we're like kind of,
Yeah. Are you on a Meta World Peace thing? I noticed you have your name set as Meta, loving kindness.
Yeah. I teach a loving kindness class.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about that.
It's one of the most powerful teachings. It's a powerful technique, loving kindness, and it's the Buddha's most powerful technique. And a lot of atheists are doing it now. Baba Samharish, if you go on his ashram, his waking up app, I'm talking about Sam Harris. Sam Harris on his waking up meditation app. Atheist, scientist, the first technique he teaches is like one Buddhist meditation, but then the second class he teaches on it is loving kindness. It's a very powerful technique. What you do is, it sounds so silly, but you actually sit there and you wish loving kindness to people. It's incredible.
That's bars. Nah, dude, honestly, I noticed a huge change in my life when I started practicing gratitude in terms of like mitigating anxiety and stuff like that and depression. And like especially now with what the sort of transitionary period I'm going through presently, it's very helpful. But that's dope. And also my life changed a lot when people went and thumbs up the stream, because we have 74 viewers, but only 17 thumbs ups. So if we want that algorithm working in our favor, how much money does it cost to go thumbs up the stream, Amish? Do you know?
Dude, nothing.
Do you know
what I'm saying? It's always like this. The numbers on YouTube, it's always so disrespectful. I mean, it's like 75 people here.
So disrespectful. I mean, is it expensive to? It must be expensive to click the thumbs up. That's why people don't do it, right? It must be.
You'd be shocked to know, Marco. It costs them nothing. It would cost them literally nothing. No,
you're kidding me.
Zero. A big old zero.
What?
No
so they can just take like a half a second and just tap the thumbs up, or
they can
like
hit a thumbs up right now.
Are you serious?
No problem. YouTube just
it almost seems like a no-brainer if you're trying to support the drip.
It seems like a no-brainer, and it seems like YouTube. Look at them; they're giving it away. What a bunch of sweetie babies!
Wow, that's insane. Well, go thumbs up the stream if y'all want to support the drip and get people notified that we're live.
Yeah, get people in here.
Pump that stock.
Pump that stock, Habibis. I gotta show you. Wait, I gotta show you. Oh, that was it. Dude, I love this setup. It's so easy to do stuff. No.
Hell yeah.
Stop screen. Share screen. Got it. Okay. I'll show 30 seconds of it. I've showed it before. But...
Sam Ovens, Yuval Harari, Michael Jackson, Hitler, and the CEO of LinkedIn have in common, all understood now more than ever, that in order to dominate, you must meditate. It was Lao Tzu who
It's my meditation
mastering
trailer.
Others is strength, but mastering yourself.
Wait. So the people that you use as a sales point for your for why meditation is good was who? LinkedIn CEO Hitler? Who?
Power.
Sam Ovens, you know him, Sam Ovens, from our, from the sales community, or from the, you know who Sam Ovens is, right? You know Sam Ovens? I feel like you're kind of getting out of this fake guru game, and I think that's great. I want to talk about it in a minute. But he really, like a lot of the psychos out there, you don't know, but they had to take the Sam Ovens class to get real tight on their business. You know what I mean? They're kind of like, you look at a Ty Lopez and a lot of their underlings, I feel like they learned all their smart stuff. They got it from Sam Ovens. I feel like Sam Ovens is pretty smart, actually, but and he's not selling a scam, but he did teach them all how to do their business properly, and they swear by him. They love him. He basically teaches like you know what the guy got? He's pretty tight. He got consulting.com. So you got to give it to him. And it's a pretty sexy website, and he basically teaches like mind superpower skills as a businessman. It's pretty cool.
My favorite thing about this is that you thumbs up your own video. I like that.
Well, according to the teachings, I have to love myself too.
Yes,
that's loving kindness. I have to wish loving kindness to myself. So I
can't,
Yeah. Unlike these 79 people that are here, and I don't know, what is it? What are we at, 20 now?
Jackson, Hitler, and the CEO of LinkedIn have...
Okay, this is the people that I picked, and it's like, they all say something different. Hitler was doing meditation, apparently. So if the enemy's doing it, you got to do it to stay tight. You know what I mean? Yuval Harari, the guy's writing the most banger books of our time. He's doing 2 or 3 hours a day people ask him when they're like, how do you get so much writing done? He's like, I have to meditate, and it's the only way I can make
Jesus,
writing.
3 hours a day.
He does like 3 hours a day. He's the Zen have a saying that if you should meditate 1 hour a day unless you're busy, then meditate 2 hours a day. Ha ha! That's their
Wow.
Yeah, because they're saying that your mind is always being pulled into like, like a little bit what you were saying, like some negative stories and kind of negativity and stuff like that. You know,
The Zen didn't have bills to pay.
They were chill. They actually didn't believe in trying to get more bills to pay, because then they were like, oh, now you're striving. There's actually one great documentary I found. It's called A Useless Life, and it's a Zen guy. He's a brilliant teacher, but he's basically talking about how like life can't really have a meaning, so you should be doing fun, creative, artistic shit.
That's hedonism, right? That's called hedonism. Is that the one I'm thinking of?
No. The doubt what these guys are talking. That's what everyone assumes it's going to be. It's going to be a bunch of lazy people. But what they teach is that you actually become more productive, and you become like you just become someone who becomes a workaholic essentially, because your life becomes a meditation. So you pick. But what the difference is that you only do good karmas. So nothing vicious. You can't hurt anyone else. You can't be overly aggressive on other people or trying to take advantage of people. And you can't it's got to be like good for you and good for the culture. But then once you have that, you're a workaholic. It's like, this is your karma, so it must be done.
I see.
Yeah,
I see.
That's their mentality. That's Wu Wei. Wu Wei Wu is also, it's like effortless effort. Doing non-doing, they call it.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Doing non-doing, like some of the people who thumbs up the stream and some who don't.
Yes, perfect example. Sorry. Perfect example. Wow. That's great, man. Dude, You're such a pro, eh? How many live streams you've done? I love that your live stream is like, it's banging, dude. I watched them.
So I've done 3 live streams a week for the last 2.5 years.
Yes.
And I actually just started a clips channel, a second channel, like basically The Drip channel, where now I have live stream clips being cut. Shout out to Sam here. Shout out to Legend Gaming. Sam here's in the chat. He's cutting the clips for me. And I have a clips channel where we've been dropping every single day in 2022 so far. And that's what you guys do here, right? You guys have the drip and then you cut the clips and you post every day, right?
We haven't been. We have a bit of a shakeup right now. I got to edit. I got to start editing or something, because our guy just didn't do it this week.
Oh, I always assumed that was like that you were sort of the person that did like the drip clips and like sort of ran this thing. No. We have a guy. We just pay a guy to do it. Oh, you have a guy. Okay.
We did pay a guy to do it, but he I think he got busy. I don't know. He's gone. He got busy. He's just he AWOL'd it, but it's fine. You know what I'm saying? I should be editing myself. You're right. It happens. It happens honestly so much that I'm like almost used to it. But this clip, incredible theory.
Well, who do you think was?
I totally agree. I was saying this before, but
the most important era or artist in rap, Soulja Boy.
This is incredible.
Now, here, pause for a second. I want you to notice something about this clip. Scroll down just a little bit to the description. You'll see that this was aired December 28th, 2019, this clip that we're watching. So all of my live streams since 2019 have been sitting in a back catalog, not like having anything done with them. So what this YouTube channel is all I've had my goons going back all the way through the archive of content, like hundreds of hours of content, and cutting clips. So you'll notice the audio quality isn't great. The video quality is bad. Like this is when I use the webcam.
Yeah.
The sound effects I was playing off of a phone.
Wow.
Like from YouTube. Like I had a playlist on YouTube with different sound effects, and then I would just have it open and I would like play off my phone. Now, of course, we have Stream Deck, of course.
I got the Stream Deck, but I don't know how to connect it into this. I got to figure that out now.
Yeah, I'll help you out with that if you need. But now I have the Stream Deck. So I just want you to know, this is the type of content that we're like sifting through and posting so that I can get monetized.
Yeah.
And then once the clips catch up with present day, the videos on the clips channel will look, 4K HD, the way they look. So many
people want this. So many people want to see your growth, see how you change.
Yeah.
And dude, this is tight look, man. The leopard skin thing, like it still works. That's the thing. It's like artistically, this is very Zen what you're doing. It's like one of the things they would always talk about, a lot of these meditation coaches, is they'll say like strip away make sure the nugget that you're giving in something is tight and genuine. So the theory is genuine, and it's a tight theory actually. It's a good. I
Yeah,
totally agree
go
with
ahead.
this. Yeah, so that's it, man. Let's keep going.
See, Soulja Boy is not the greatest rapper ever, and he's like fallen off and whatever. But Soulja Boy was the first. Like, you wouldn't have none of this Chief Keef or like Whip Nene. Like, think about nowadays. Okay, so like now you know how people go viral and like off dance videos and like TikTok and what's the other one called? Those apps wouldn't be a thing if those songs weren't a thing, and those songs wouldn't be a thing if it weren't for Soulja Boy.
Huge, big influence on the culture.
Yeah, this is so funny. Like there was literally no thought in my mind at the time, like that clip. I'm just sitting there eating hummus, and there's probably maybe 10 people watching my stream.
Yeah,
there was never any thought in my mind that one day I would like that would ever be posted anywhere ever again. But I agree with you that people value seeing the growth, and like that's what galvanizes the goons. You know, they want to keep supporting because they see when they drop the bags on my stream that I put it back into like a better lighting, a better camera, and it makes for better content. It's sort of like a thing we build together. It's like you help me make the better content, and in return you get better content type of thing, you know?
Wow. So you know what? I got my meditation down to an hour now. I think I should just live stream them all. Now that you're saying this, I'm just like, why am I not live streaming my meditations? My meditation, I do like 2 of them a week, and I have a congregation. We have like 20, 25 people. Actually, last week, I mean, it's kind of like a bit, but like last episode or last meditation, we actually had like someone jacked our stream to give us an 11/11 energy update. It's basically like it was like my higher self. So like jacked our stream and was like, hey, 11/11 energy update. I get to come into the stream. And he was just saying that like, because we have 250 people on meetup.com, now they got to send an official representative of loving kindness to be like, yo, is this tight? Are you legit? Whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Do you drop bars during the meditation? Like, do you talk?
I try to do a rip off the top, like a comedy. Then I try to do a sketch teaching. So I'll be in the act out, and then they really like that. Like, I'll just pop up behind myself and I'll be like, watch yourself. Noted. Stuff like that. Like I can do little act outs with it. But I haven't even done one where they're talking. This is the first one I did last week where the person's talking. So I'm going to drop that sketch soon, actually.
Very cool.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I look at live streaming now as batch filming. Like, you know, some YouTubers, they film for 4 hours straight and they chop that up and that's their videos for the week. Yep. I look at my live streams as that now.
100%.
Because I'm going to react to something or do a bit about something or whatever. And it's like, you know, it's crazy how many big creators now depend on this format of doing one sit down long form piece of content and then continuing to milk it by chopping clips. Like you and I are in the comedy scene, right? Andrew Schultz does a special or does crowd work and chops it up into clips, or he'll do an hour-long show and chop it up into clips. Joe Rogan, who's, you know, this is what we're doing now, sitting 2 guys talking on the mic.
He invented this kind of.
He invented this, like he'll do, and I know that's a topic you wanted to get into, so this is a good segue. But Joe Rogan talking for 4 hours to a guy and then editing the clips. His biggest videos on his channel are 5-minute clips, not 4-hour-long interviews.
Yeah. Oh, really? Hey, they're not the 4 hour. Yeah. So the 4 hour, like, so don't they say that his full episodes get 10 million downloads a month or something like that?
They do, but on YouTube, the actual like videos that get the most views are not the 4-hour ones. It's the clip of, you know, Joe Rogan and Robert Downey Jr. talk about blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. No, that's the game. That is the game. That's what our editor is supposed to, you know, like that's what you do. You put those up. And if you cover this is so meta because we're literally doing it right now. Like if you cover something hot like Joe Rogan, let's pull up a Joe Rogan. Yeah. Since we're here, let's pull up a Joe Rogan. I mean, I have the Joe Rogan apology. What do you know about it? Where are you?
I know about it. So last week, I mean, it's been moving pretty fast, but for those who don't know, last week there was a uproar about Joe Rogan, and they wanted to deplatform him off Spotify because apparently he was spreading misinformation via a guest he had on Joe Rogan about the health situation. Yeah. And you know, Neil Young, the singer who I can't name any of his songs, thought that he was doing something by being like, if you don't take Joe Rogan off, I'll take my music off. And Spotify was basically like, okay, Neil Young, like.
But apparently that cost him $4 million.
Who? Neil Young?
Neil Young taking his music off apparently costs like Spotify a ton of money or something. They're saying it's probably,
if Joe Rogan is the ocean, Neil Young is a drop of water. Neil Young, if I was the CEO of Spotify and it was a business, and I go, Joe Rogan, who boosted my stock by $1 bajillion when
you
we
just
signed
paid him
him to an
$100 million.
Yeah,
like you know, like
or versus Neil Young, who isn't, you know, if it was like Lil Nas X or Ariana Grande that was doing it, maybe it would be more of a discussion. Neil Young, go Neil Young.
That's basically what they did. They didn't care. I think Alec Baldwin's getting on it. I heard that some people are jumping on that train though with Neil Young. They're like,
go, Alec Baldwin, go.
Alec Baldwin, he's trying to cover up from, he just killed someone on a movie set. So you know what he's doing? He's doing that's sneaky, dude, what he's doing. He's trying to jump in on this and be like, well, I have to cancel Joe Rogan too. It's like
the redeeming, yeah. I mean, so, and then after this, which Joe Rogan addressed, and he said, look, I interview people from both sides of the aisle. I'm not co-signing anything. I'm just giving a platform for people to share their opinion. That's it. And the guy who I had on is a very like decorated doctor in terms of like his achievements and his education. So now, once that didn't really take off and the Neil Young thing didn't take off, now there's this video going around, which is like a hyper cut of Joe Rogan saying the N-word on, you know, over 12 years worth of clips, you know, out of context.
Did you see it?
Talking. Yeah, I saw it. And I saw his apology. And I know that's what you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, sick. Thank you, man. That's great. Yeah, so that is, we're all up to date. That's amazing, dude. Let's play a little bit of his apology. It is such a weird situation though. I just feel like people are so divided, and these are all just different ways that people are like polarizing around each other.
I'm making this video to talk about the most regretful and shameful thing that I've ever had to talk about publicly. There's a video that's out that's a compilation of me saying the N-word. It's a video that's made of clips taken out of context of me of 12 years of conversations on my podcast, and it's all smushed together, and it looks fucking horrible, even to me. Now, I know that to most people, there's no context where a white person is ever allowed to say that word, never mind publicly on a podcast. And I agree with that now. I haven't said it in years, but for a long time, when I would bring that word up, like if it would come up in conversation, instead of saying the N-word, I would just say the word. I thought as long as it was in context, people would understand what I was doing. Like that context was part of the clip we were talking about Red Fox, how Red Fox said that word on television in the 1970s, and how times have changed so much since then.
How did you feel about that?
Yeah, he goes on to explain further, and he sort of explains like, hey, this is like 12 years worth of videos. Like I've said a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, look, I don't think Joe Rogan did anything wrong. That's my stance. And anytime that anybody is like being canceled, I always default to being on the side of the person who is being canceled until I have more info. And in the case of Joe, his explanation was very, very poignant. Yeah, he shouldn't have said it. He addresses that he shouldn't have said it. He's got a ton of huge comedians who he gave a platform to, of all races, sexes, you name it. People from all over. And, you know, I think Donnell Rawlings posted a picture from the episode that him, Dave Chappelle, and Joe Rogan were on Joe Rogan's show. And he said, yeah, I don't think this episode would have been possible if Joe Rogan was a racist. Obviously, Joe Rogan isn't racist. The reason I think this is a ridiculous thing to try and cancel him for is because it's like, let's if we had a genie, eye in the sky, who, you know, the eye of Sauron, who saw every behavior we did behind closed doors, if we had magically in front of us an edit of every white person that we know at every moment in their life when they've said the N-word, it'd be probably longer than the Joe Rogan edit was.
Yeah. I mean, he's coming from a time, like one of the things of being so old is that I remember early, like even when I was a kid, stand-up comedy was actually pretty sexist and racist, way more than today. Like just unacceptable. It was like normal to do it. So this is nothing. His old jokes are probably pretty like misogynistic. Like I'm sure more and more can come out because his old stand-up, he was doing that kind of stand up. Like in the 80s, they just did stand up where they were like, can you believe these women and they do this and they
dude, it was worse.
up.
Like, do you remember Eddie Murphy Delirious is the most
Yeah.
famous, like most notorious stand-up comedy special. He has a whole like 10-15 minute bit about why he's scared of F words. I'm not going to get us demonetized, but
Yeah.
you know, a slanderous word towards gay people. He has a whole 10-minute thing in a stadium of people, and this is like still today renowned as one of the best pieces of stand-up comedy of all time. And it's sort of just like, it's sort of this unspoken thing where like people from a previous generation where this stuff wasn't cancelable sort of get a pass. They get grandfathered in. Like Eminem is a great example, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to cancel Eminem for the brazenly shit, like crazy shit that he said in 2000 because, oh, well, he's Eminem. And I've learned something, especially since becoming a creator in the public sphere myself.
Yeah.
Expectation is everything. If Chris Evans comes out and says, oh man, these N-words is crazy, it would be a no-go because we don't expect that from Chris Evans, Captain America. But if somebody like Dave Chappelle came out and said something about like, oh man, white people are crazy, we'd be like, haha, that's Dave.
Yeah.
It's about if they expect it, they accept it.
Yeah, that's his crowd, dude. You can't go against your crowd. Like, I mean, that's one of the things that really killed Gian Gomeshi's career. I feel like where in Canada, well, we're going so Canadian today. Gian Gomeshi got canceled years ago, but he sold himself as like a super feminist, and then he was like hitting women. So there's no way to come back from that. Whereas a lot of these conservatives, their crowd is kind of, they don't care. Like Bill O'Reilly is like, oh, they had to cancel him from Fox for like sexually assaulting a bunch of women at work. He just goes home and does it from YouTube now, and he doesn't give a shit. And a lot of people, like, I guess, that does matter. That makes a big difference. And that's why I think Joe Rogan's such a class act, though, for apologizing. I think he's so sweet for apologizing.
Here's the way
these guys won't do it.
Here's the way that you get caught up. By the way, shout out to Patches for the super chat donation.
Thanks,
there.
Patches.
Thank you,
Love
Patches.
you.
Here's the way that you beat cancel culture, okay? Don't be fake. Don't do the thing you just described where you claim to be a hyper feminist, but behind closed doors, you beat women or whatever. The truth is always going to come to light. When I first started doing YouTube, I came out and said every bad thing I'd ever done so that somebody could clip it of me saying it in 2019. So that way in 2025, nobody can be like, oh, I found a picture of, we know. It was already, it's 8 Mile. You know the movie 8 Mile? Yeah. At the end of the movie, Eminem is like, I am white. I am a fucking bum. I do live in a trailer with my mom. If you do that, the problem is on social media nowadays, people don't, I sound like such an old man. On social media nowadays, no, but like this is the way we do it. Play a character, be a thing. If you meet me in person, I'm the exact same way that I am on the internet because it's too hard to hide. It's too hard to fake it. We've seen so many videos come out of influencers that we thought were squeaky clean, who had oh damn, they did this thing that wasn't actually that halal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you like, when I first came out, I said, hey, when I was in grade 10 or 11, I don't remember. When I was a teenager, I did blackface as part of a Halloween costume where I was 2 Chainz. It wasn't racially motivated. I just was a big fan of 2 Chainz and I wanted the costume to be authentic. And now I realize that was wrong. Am I gonna get? Are y'all gonna cancel me for that? Okay, go ahead. Because if you are one of the people trying to cancel me, you weren't my supporter to begin with.
How old were you?
15, 16.
That's cute though, man. Remember that kid who dressed up as MLK? There's one baby who dressed up as MLK and he did everything, and he's like, but I just love him so much. Like it's cute. It's like it is sometimes like you don't know, and but I do feel like people are in such a polarized fight right now where it's almost like Joe Rogan is like, they're mad because of, I think he just brings on too many conservatives and COVID shit. So now it's like anything to get him. Like people are just so mad about it.
That's the thing is Joe Rogan isn't part of they. He can't be controlled. He's his own thing. He's got full control of it. And guess what? If Spotify drops Joe Rogan today, Joe Rogan is still going to be Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's not going to stop. And if anything, that's only going to like notarize him even more. Like his audience is going to be even more galvanized, and they're going to be like, see, they're trying to stomp out our boy. That's why it's the Streisand effect. You try and go, hey, everyone, look over there. And they're going to do the opposite.
Of course, man. And that is so much in the culture right now where people are like mad at you for having a different opinion. And there's just like an automatic, like anger towards you for like, even for some people, if you say like, I like Joe Rogan. And I was just saying to some girl, like, yeah, I love Joe. Like, Joe Rogan's great. I love him. And she's like, you listen to him? Why do you have to listen to a hateful person?
I recently lost a bunch of followers because I posted a photo with Chris D'Elia when I was down in LA last month. And he did a sold out show. There was hundreds of people there. It was the third sold out show of a string of shows he was doing. So I wasn't the only person there, but obviously. Yeah. And I posted this picture because I claim that I'm a fan of Chris D'Elia. I've seen him do stand-up 3 times. I like his podcast. And I lost a bunch of followers and I had people commenting, but isn't this guy XYZ? And it's like, I strategically did this so that I would lose followers because I wanted, because I wanted, like, I don't want someone following me who I know is susceptible to just reading the headline and then canceling someone. Because when it happens to me, you're going to turn on me. So I don't want you following me anyways.
Dude, we're all in this cancel game. We're all playing checkers. Marco's playing chess. In the
I did a few things. I did a few things recently to try and do this. Like I went to try and like align my brand with the most like easily dislikable things just for the sake of bandwagoning. Joe Rogan, I defended. Chris D'Elia, I claimed that I was a fan of. I posted this video of me rapping to a Russ song the other day. And of course, there was some people being like, ugh, Russ. It's like, you're just saying that just to say, because you think it's the cool thing to hate Russ. You don't like, Russ makes bangers. I'll defend Russ. Like, you know.
I got to hear Russ, man. I want to hear it now. I don't know it yet, but that sounds exciting. That's good though. I'm glad you're giving me music. That's great. I love your music too, by the way. It's so good. But dude, I got to listen to Russ now. What's Russ? So, can we play something or no?
Rapper, singer. I wouldn't play it. You'll probably get DMCA'd. But right, true. He's cool. He's cool. But there was a whole thing a couple of years ago where it was like the cool thing to be like hashtag fuck Russ, just because like a couple like SoundCloud rappers were like beefing with him, and so it became this whole thing to just dislike Russ. But dude, he's one of the most successful independent artists of all time, and like makes bangers, and yeah, he's dope. He's dope. Anyways, Russ, what do you think about the Joe Rogan thing?
The Joe Rogan. Okay, so this is what my issue, and you know, I hate to keep bringing it up, but even with my meditations, what we're taught in loving kindness is that people shouldn't be fighting, and it really hurts me that everyone's so quick to fight. Like, I just like him. I had to tell this girl, like, no, he's like Oprah for bros. He's like Oprah. Like then she was like, okay, then it's okay. Like she gets, she thinks we're listening to it. Like, yeah, Joe, tell me the best anti-vax and all, or you know what I mean? Like she thinks we're doing it like that or something. Or like, tell me some misogynist tips. They don't even hear, they've never heard it.
You never even watched.
They never even watched. They just go, how could you listen to him? It's 10 million downloads a month. He's bigger than any other show. Why do I have to pretend I like him or something? It's ridiculous.
It's what's that phrase? The loud minority. The loudest people give off the impression, especially online. We see a number like 30,000 retweets, maybe, right? Yeah. That seems like a big number. Oh, everyone is against this thing. How many users are on Twitter? How many monthly downloads is Joe Rogan getting? This is a small group of people that's like...
Yeah. How could you like him? How could you?
It's just so easy. It takes more effort to be educated about something than it does to blindly like rally against something. And the algorithm or whatever it is rewards you for it because we like drama. We like clicking on that. And so it's, you know, you're incentivized almost to, ironically, spread misinformation.
Yeah. Our egos are built like this. Like our brains are actually built like this. They're actually taking advantage of an inbuilt mechanism that we have that really helped us survive in more tribal times. But now it's like people are so quick to polarize. Even I don't know if we need to jump to it yet, but like the truckers protest in Canada, I was just talking to someone about it, and they just go like, I just think it's all white supremacists. I don't like it. I don't like them. It's all white supremacists. And I'm like, don't say all. And even if they are, according to the Buddha, we have to forgive them. Doesn't mean don't stop them or don't whatever, but like, you could almost see it as like, that's, I mean, I don't know. I almost look at that as like a mental health issue.
No, you're right. And I've been sort of on the same wave, not through meditation, but I read something recently that said like, when you really think about it, everyone is innocent regardless of the atrocities they commit, because we're all just operating from a framework of like our childhood trauma and how we were raised, especially when it comes to those who are racist. If you committed a crime that was motivated by racism. Well, you learned racism from somewhere. You weren't born with racism. And so even in that, and it most likely came from your parents. And so even in some roundabout way, even that person is, even though they are the instigator or the victimizer, they are also a victim in a way.
100%. Yeah, man. I mean, it's hard to tell people. It's hard to convince people that this is, you know, because a lot of people do have that fear of like, no, then you'll just get lazy and then they're going to take you and they're going to take over. I feel like that's what a lot of trucker rally people are doing too. They're almost saying like, it's, you know, that's another like polarized community. Joe Rogan's really, I think for a second, like he backed them or whatever. That's another reason I think that everyone's mad at him. Not backed them, but like he just said some stuff about it that people seem to be like pissed about. But they also have a mentality of like you're almost looking for a fight the way your brain is built, like the way you're traumatized. It basically teaches you like this hurts you. So in the future, you're almost preemptively like looking for a fight in places. And, you know, even with truckers protests, like it does seem like they're basically like preemptively being like, you can't trust the government. We got to go and stop them or whatever. Like, I don't agree with them. I feel like they're a little conspiracy-ish thinking, but I do have compassion. Just like the anti-vax people, it's like, I get it, man. If you don't feel like it, I just don't think the solution is yelling at each other. And it is like, you have to give a forgiveness in order to like heal it and come together on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's interesting. I definitely agree with not yelling at each other. Here's where my sort of position is on the truckers thing. So I had a couple comedian friends that I was meeting up with to write jokes yesterday. And the other day, a couple of them had actually gone down to the Edmonton like rally that was going on for the truckers. And they said everybody was really nice and there was no like incidents or anything. Now, I'm not fully educated on the subject of the trucker rally and what exactly their position is. I saw articles that were saying that the trucker rally was actually about the road conditions in BC. And then I saw a bunch of people saying it's actually about their freedoms and the mandates and whatever. Here's the thing. Our trucker rally is sort of the Canadian version of the Capitol insurrection, right? Like this is our Capitol insurrection.
Right.
And I'll say this. I think that people getting together in like a grassroots movement to like stand up for what they believe in on paper is a good thing. The danger is when those people are misinformed in mass.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, here's my thing. It's sort of a tough position that I have because even myself, I am conflicted, you know, I got vaccinated and I feel like, you know, it made sense what I was hearing when the health situation first broke out. Oh, we need to be more careful about washing our hands and wearing a mask. And oh, they finally came out with a vaccine. Let's get it. And you know, it's no different really than people get a flu shot every year and da 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 da. I don't think that the health situation and the mandates are some secret, you know, sinister plot to like control people. Because if let me just give you the benefit of the doubt and be Socratic here about this theory. If I was the Illuminati or whoever, and I wanted to control and kill half the population and stop women from getting pregnant and give kids health issues, wouldn't I do it in a less publicized, less controversial way than a vaccine mandate? Wouldn't I just tamper with the water supply, which no one sees me do, which we all drink anyways and shower with? When was the last time that you drove up to the water irrigation center in your you know, municipality and saw and oversaw that? There's so much blind faith that we put into stuff already that it's ironic that these people are fighting against, like, don't just believe what they say. Well, I know. Okay, so I should believe what you say.
I know. It's like so that's the thing though. I don't agree with them. Like I do think it's ridiculous what they're like. I don't know what their exact demands are or whatever, but I mean, no, I know like they want to end like mandates and lockdowns and stuff like that. So it's almost become this. It has become like this pro-business thing. It's weird because the workers' movement should be a real lefty thing here. So but these guys are doing it, and it's become hijacked by like a more conservative mentality, I guess, of like we're with them and whatever. But it seems like bullshit. But yeah, I do feel like. Sorry, I forgot what point I was gonna make there. Damn it.
No, I was talking about how they don't want you to blindly, like people who protest don't want you to blindly follow, but it's like they want you to blindly follow them saying don't blindly follow.
100%. So we're talking to someone and they go, it's same thing. How do you think the news is going to tell you? You think the news knows? You think the news is correct? What are you, stupid? Like people are so quick, man. I'm getting yelled at even on little tweets on Instagram. This guy wrote me an essay, dude. An essay. My buddy posted. Shout out to my boy Sam. He has a great YouTube channel, Cool Dad 420.
Wow.
But he did a tweet where he saw some Jordan Peterson thing, and he put a tweet saying, best case scenario, he's saying that putting on a mask is Holocaust. So I just retweeted his thing. An essay, dude. Like, why? How dare you speak about Jordan Peterson's head? How dare you? You cannot say this. The guy's so upset, and he's like, "Why do you believe? Why do you believe the mainstream? The liberal media is trying to attack him." I think
my favorite thing is people. My favorite thing is when people are like, "Well, you know that blah blah blah, right? Like, don't you know?" It's like, does anyone know anything?
Yeah,
and you know what, dude? Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, okay, fair enough. News media has its faults. Government has its faults. They can do a lot of shit. They're useless. They can't organize bloody anything. They're not gonna organize something this tight. Like I'm talking about COVID. Like they can't do it on purpose.
There's no way.
They can't do anything on purpose good. Like they can barely control it on purpose. Like they're not good at things. But the crazy thing is when someone says, "Oh, you believe them? You believe the mainstream media? So you're brainwashed." And you're like, it's like, well, you want me to believe who you're watching? 100% whoever you're watching is 10 times more kooky. I gotta rely on it's garbage CNN. I'm sorry, I don't even watch CNN though. Like I'll watch Breaking Points, Crystal and Sagar. Very reasonable. I feel like that's where to get the best news because they don't have that corporate agenda. But it is weird when someone just says, "Well, so you believe the media? So you believe the news?"
There's three sides to every story, right? His, hers, and the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, I just use my own perspective. Like I try to adopt when I was in university, in the philosophy class, I learned about like the Socratic method of debate, where you pretend that you are arguing against yourself, and what points would you make? If I was to argue against, like if I was to be on the side with people who think this is a big conspiracy, I would say like, well, if the problem is you not knowing what's in it, that implies that you know everything else that you put in your body. Don't you still drink alcohol? Don't you still smoke and do coke? Don't you still eat processed food that you don't know what's in it? Like, you know what I mean?
Every anti-vaxxer I know, pack of cigarettes a day.
I mean, yeah, it's just like, weren't you getting the vaccine when you were a kid for whatever hepatitis A and B and whatever? Weren't you getting those vaccines without, like, you don't ever really know what's in, like, every day we do 1,000 acts that hinge a little bit on blind trust. When you go to Starbucks and order a drink, there's blind trust that they didn't piss in it.
Right? You have to trust the world to live in it. It's like,
you have to have some level of trust. And hey, how big-headed it is to think that the government cares about you, dude. Some random guy that, you're a regular person that makes an average person's salary. You think the government cares about you? Hey, government, okay, track my phone. Hey, government, okay, put the vaccine in me. Okay, I'm not destabilizing anything. Like, y'all care about me? I'm honored.
Yeah. It is weird that it is delusional, and it is like conspiracy-ish thinking. That's the thing. Like they're never like, it's like they haven't, I guess. But you know what it is? Sometimes it feels like we're leaving our blue collar people behind, and it's like maybe we didn't educate them. Like, it's so condescending though. It's so condescending to say, but a lot of that, whenever they talk, I'm like, there's no chance of convincing you. And I can't, but that's why I do think it's important to just give compassion. Because I almost see them as like, like they're not going to get it. Like they're just stuck in thinking a certain thing. And I do feel like demonizing them, it polarizes, and then that's what makes them go more into it. So I'm always just like, it's okay. It's almost like a cat. Like people are so quick to polarize, but you have to be like cat-ish. Like you have to be like, hey, like, I'm sorry that you feel like that,
dude. If this was the liberal elite trying to control then why is Jared Leto saying get the vaccine? Why are all these celebrities saying like get the vaccine? Like,
dude, no, everyone knows Hollywood's with the left, Marco. Everyone knows Hollywood's with the left. and you're already aligning yourself. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, like if I was a millionaire famous person who actually had some shit to lose, who actually had a platform, who actually could make a difference, like I don't know, man. It's just there's way too many things that like I saw a meme that was like it was like an anti-vax, anti-mandate meme, and it was like it was like a kid. It was a kid talking to his mom, and the kid was like, "Mom, Santa's real, right? A kid at school told me that Santa wasn't real." And the mom responds like, "Of course Santa's real. Think of how many people would have to be in on it if he was fake."
Wow. That's a good call.
Which sounds like a great, oh, yeah, that's a great point. Except Santa Claus is a fictional character who we all have made the silent contract to agree to act like he's real for the sake of entertaining children.
Yeah.
Not a life or death thing that's to do with freedoms and adults and shit.
Yeah, that is a pretend thing that we believe. And they're basically saying that this is the government. You can't trust them. You trust the liberal media. That's like trusting Santa Claus. That's like the yeah, I know.
So
Dude,
I don't
can't
really
even post memes.
I don't know what the see, it's like it's just like a continuous spiral. You know, there will be a protest that's about one thing, and then a group of people that doesn't like that thing will say it's actually about another thing. And it's like you just keep doubling down until now it's not even about politics, it's not even about race, it's not even about any real issues. It's just like it's just I don't know, it's just mass brainwashing. It's just brainwashing, man.
It's brainwashing. They're so far polarized that they can't see the truth anymore. And it's just about like, how do I fight this person? All brain energy is on how do I attack back? How do I catch something? How do I do something? So even with the Joe Rogan fight, it just seems like I don't, obviously it's a terrible clip series that just came out. But like, you know, the fact that he's apologizing, I think is so nice because it is that step back in, you know, like everyone thinks if I'm not polarizing, if I'm not upping the fight, then I'm losing somehow. But it takes that's why you need loving kindness, I guess, because you have to almost have an open heart to come step back in and be like, I think it's just so great. Dude, all these other guys this is why I think people hate Joe Rogan though, is that he puts on, like last week we talked about the Jordan Peterson interview he just did. Steven was saying he couldn't watch it. Like he jumped through it a couple of parts, opens with like Peterson on Joe Rogan, opens with climate change. I don't think the climate is real. Like he just made up a new anti-climate change theory. Yeah, I know.
I mean,
you have to be so innovative.
It's so interesting, man. Like everyone has a position without being educated because they think it makes them look foolish to not have a position. I mean, you realize to anybody watching this that feels embarrassed when somebody asks them about something and you don't know, please recognize that it actually gives you the advantage in a conversation to say, I don't know enough about that topic to have an opinion. The amount of information that you're going to get that way is so powerful. And conversely, there's ways to use it. Like, let's say you're talking to a friend or a girl you like. I've done this many times. And the girl says, okay, so you know the movie, blah, blah, blah. If I've never seen it, I could say, no, I've never seen it. And the convo stops right there.
Right.
Or I could say, yes, which is not true. And that leads to me getting the information in a couple of seconds that would have allowed me to say yes a few seconds before. So for example, I'm like, hey, Amish, you know that movie, you know, in Pokemon 2000, that scene where blah, blah, blah? Say yes.
Yes.
Well, now I've just given you the information that you didn't have a second ago. So now we're able to talk about it because I've just described to you, I've just given you the context you needed. Whereas if you had said, no, I don't know about that, the convo shuts down. And sometimes you want to be able to shut the convo down. But the worst thing you could do is like flounder and try to pull something out of your ass, which I feel like a lot of people do.
Yeah, most people. You know, there's actually a great quote by another Zen one. They say not knowing is the most intimate. But a big part of what they teach and is like, why are you so sure of something? Like, like people like come into situations not knowing, because then you can become intimate with what you're doing in this moment. You come in with your preconceived whatever notions. You're just blocking things. You just don't want to hear things. Like you say something and you go, it's all white supremacists. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like them. It's like, just give it a second. It's going to be fine. We can get into it. It'll be an interesting conversation. But a lot of people, they just get upset. They don't want to get into it. And that is like a further polarizing thing, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah. Marco is a Fauci bot. Somebody in the chat said that's hilarious.
Fauci bot.
Yeah. Thank you for the dono, by the way. Apple.
Thanks,
I forget the username. Apple something.
Oh,
Apple CEB Applejack.
Yeah. 3D chat.
Yeah, dude. You touched on Joe Rogan again. The last thing I'll say about the Joe Rogan thing is like, when you apologize, despite having done nothing with malicious intent, you give the people trying to cancel you a reason to think that they were right to try and cancel you to begin with. I actually think that Joe Rogan, like, I know that he was taking the high ground in apologizing, but if I was in his position, I wouldn't have apologized. Here's what I would have said instead. I'll tell you why I wouldn't have apologized, and I'll tell you what I would have said instead.
Okay.
I wouldn't have apologized because I know if I'm Joe Rogan in that moment, I wasn't attacking anyone or trying to say anything racist. My words were taken out of context. Perhaps I was quoting something, and I miscalculated by actually saying the word instead of saying the N-word, right?
Right.
Which is not even something that my Caucasian peers could fault me for, because if we had every example of them saying it, it would be a 3 times longer supercut than what I said publicly on my podcast. Now, when you apologize, it makes them feel like, see, he did do something wrong. Otherwise, why is he apologizing? So what I would have said instead would be more. It's too bad that
people take it like that. It's too bad that a lot of people will still take it like that. But I do feel like a lot of people, it calms them. But sorry, go on.
Yeah, I would just say, if I was Joe Rogan, I'd be like, look, go then. Go. Wow. I know what it was. The people who watched it in context know what it was. Should I be saying that word? No. But if you're trying to make it seem like I'm secretly some racist trying to get away with saying the N-word at every turn that I can, suck my dick.
Wow, Marco. I didn't know you're a G, dude. You're hard as fuck.
Dude, here's the thing. There's 7 billion people on the planet. Cancel culture only takes over if you allow it to. Assuming that you haven't actually done anything wrong, assuming that you're not a Bill Cosby or a Harvey Weinstein. If people are just coming after you because of some headline or some nonsense, you have to accept it in order for it to take effect. If you just continue business as usual, it's no problem.
I think he did feel bad. I think he did feel like maybe I crossed the line on definitely the last joke he did. The last joke he did in that montage of the N-word montage. What a weird thing to have an N-word montage. But like the last one he did, it was pretty bad. I saw Aries Spears talk about it. First, Aries Spears like defends him. And by the end of the video, he's like, this was cool. This was wrong. But at the end of the day, like, I do also feel like, I feel bad saying this because I know some black comics who are mad at him. But I know so many black comics that are just like, it's fine. Like, just leave it. I don't care. Like,
who does shame help? Who has ever been helped and changed for the better by being shamed? All the people who are like, imagine in your mind, just, I'm not going to give it an age or a gender or a race. Make up in your mind, visualize a person who you think reads the headline or reads a tweet or reads a headline and then goes fully into canceling someone. Oh, we're lagging.
It's too much. What's up? You can't hear
just a little bit of lag. No, we're just lagged a little bit.
But yeah,
make up that person in your mind, right? Imagine what they look like. Okay.
Oh, they're just so terrifying, dude.
Right. Imagine that person in your mind. Everybody at home do this as well.
Yeah, this is a great meditation. Powerful meditation.
Visualize in your mind a person who you think is pro cancel, reads the headline, reads the tweet, and cancels somebody, right? You have it?
I have it. It's terrifying.
Got you. Does that person so funny, Amish. Does that person that you're imagining in your mind strike you as a person who is also going to, like, I gotta figure out the words. I had the words for this a moment ago, and now I've lost them. So
it's a beautiful meditation. There's like meditations like this where you think about your death.
Yeah.
You're just thinking of a negative thing, and you're like, "Oh, this is awkward." This
I gotta
is really on
remember
some core level. holding me back as a man, you know? Like I remember Jamie Foxx was saying this on Joe Rogan too, where he's like, bruh, men can't be men right now. Just looking over their shoulder. Cancel for what, man? Come on. Like some of them make sense. Okay, we're with you, but then some of them are just
okay.
What
sorry.
is this about?
I remember the point I was gonna make.
Yeah.
Okay, picture in your mind the person who you think is pro cancel culture, who sees a tweet or sees a headline and cancels someone, right? This person is in favor of mass shaming someone publicly to the point that they're ostracized by society. What do you think this person that you've pictured in your mind, what do you think their views are on prison? Here's why I bring this up. I imagine that the same type of person who is pro cancel culture is the same type of person who is anti prison industrial complex, who believes that incarcerating someone isn't actually going to rehabilitate them for the better, and that this is an evil system. And yet they still think that it should be okay to just shame someone publicly.
Public ostracization. It's
like
it goes against the Buddhist teachings, man. It's like you can't, like, okay, whatever someone did bad, okay, Chris D'Elia did something bad. He deserves forgiveness and reintegration into society. Like we can't do that. You know, it's ridiculous.
He didn't do anything bad. He didn't do anything bad.
Oh, really? I thought at the time, like, did he hook up with a 17-year-old or something?
No. Here's what happened.
Not even, eh?
The
I
irony,
saw that a bunch of them were like, they texted at 17, and then 3 years later they were 21. Then they did it, but
here's the crazy thing. The only thing Chris D'Elia did that could be painted as morally wrong was that he had sex with women that weren't his girlfriend at the time. So he cheated. So he's a famous comic that cheated. If we canceled every famous celebrity that cheated, we wouldn't watch any sort of media anymore, period. But what happened was a girl only posted the screenshots of her like messaging Chris D'Elia when she was like 17. He finds out she's 17, stops talking to her. And then a year later, just doesn't even reply. And then a year later, she messages him again. Hey, I'm 18 now. Want to fuck? Still doesn't reply. There was no underage. But the thing was, he was on that. The thing was, he was on the stream on that show called You, the Netflix show You, where he played a P word on the show at the exact same time that these allegations came out from this girl. So it was just the perfect headline. Life imitates art. Chris D'Elia, da 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 da. It was just like, you know what I mean? It was just like a perfect storm. Yeah, it was a perfect storm where it was like, oh, didn't you play yourself? Like it was a meme. Like, didn't you play yourself on season 2 of You? It's like, no, dude, no.
Yeah, but it would be funny if they played yourself. Like that would be a funny meme. Just be like, Chris D'Elia, played yourself. It's like you did it and then you got busted. But he didn't even do anything in the end. In the end, it was all like legal. Like it was. I think he fucked a bunch of 18-year-olds. He didn't even go to the 17. Didn't he?
Okay. Hey guys, go Google any male celebrity. Go Google how Jerry Seinfeld was dating like a 17-year-old when he was
at the height of Seinfeld. And
at the height of Seinfeld. Go find out how Brad Pitt was dating a girl who was like 16 when he was in his like 20s. Go find out, etc., 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 etc. It goes on and on forever of male celebrities dating women who are like less than half their age. Hugh Hefner. Like,
I'll tell you what, I can tell you what happened to Chris D'Elia. Same thing that happened to, I think, Kurt Metzger, in my opinion, because Kurt Metzger also got canceled and it had an impact on him. But same thing happened to both. They rip too hard, dude. It's like there's shit coming out about cancel culture. They come out with these comedy bits that are like, yo, here's why that's stupid. Here's why that's stupid. Here's why that's stupid. And then on the other side, people are like, oh, yeah, you're fucking canceled, you piece of shit. I'm going to make a clip. I'm going to go back, study everything you did. We're going to cut it up, cancel you, you piece of shit.
I don't know who that person is.
No, I'm talking about culturally. It feels like that's what happened.
Okay.
Definitely with Kurt Metzger, it was more clear. It was like he spoke out in a conversation about in a cancel culture, whatever. He disagreed with someone who was like a prominent feminist blogger. So he disagreed. She was like, just came at him hard with like, you're male chauvinist pig, whatever. Then he came back with like rips that just ripped so hard it hurt her feelings. And I think she was like, oh, okay, you're canceled.
Dude,
oh, now you're canceled. You're a piece of shit.
So many people we give a pass to. This, like, here's a great conversation I have with comedian friends of mine from time to time. How is it that Chris Brown is still a thing?
he hit Rihanna like so much. It's weird, man. But I guess the music.
But we want Chris D'Elia to be canceled because he pined some girls on tour who were of legal consenting age. Dude, Panda says it in the chat. Jimmy Page, Steven Tyler. How many of these rock legends, Mick Jagger?
Oh, they were just banging 16-year-olds back then.
Probably 14-year-olds.
They would bang a 14-year-old.
The Beatles, I mean, you think before social media that these musicians who were like these rock legends who were on tour weren't pining fucking, underage? Are you crazy?
Yeah, they're tapping. It's fine. I mean,
Mike Tyson, Tupac, Mike Tyson, Gandhi. Like, what are we doing?
I remember on this show, I had my age on Tinder at 19, and Steven was like, "This is unacceptable, Amish. This is unacceptable." I'm like,
why?
I always put it up. Like, I'm always like 18. That's ridiculous. And I always put it up to 19 every time on every app. But I got it. Like, okay, there's no matches. Like, listen, you're not saving anyone. There's no matches before. There's no matches after.
Dude,
it's fine. It's like every now and then something comes through. And like, because it's so weird because nobody my age really wants to fuck me. And then if I'm even with someone who looks younger, people are like, Amish, how old is she? And I'm just like, listen, why do you want to talk about that? It's just going to make you sad. You didn't want to fuck me anyway. Just leave it. Like, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter to anyone, but it's salacious and it gets people's attention. So that's another thing I think with D'Elia is that like, it is a salacious story that like, this is how our egos are built. We hear a story about a woman getting hurt. Oh, I think Marco's restarting, but we hear a story about like, oh no, a woman was hurt. It's I guess white knighting. Yeah, shit, dude. Holy shit. I took a conservative goddamn turn here, but it's fine. I don't think it's conservative. I think it's like, it is something that I think, what's up, buddy? But I do think it's like something that people in the meditation game are talking about. They're talking about like balanced masculinity and having like being able to express what you want and not be like creepy about it and not like, like cross the line or whatever. And it's weird because if you do stuff like this, I feel like it's throwing off the vibe. Like people don't know, like, are we dating? I don't know. What do you think of that? I bring this up with Steven all the time. Apparently millennials aren't having sex anymore. Do you think there's a correlation, or am I making like an Indian uncle conspiracy theory? Like, is there a correlation between like, it's just like dangerous. Everyone just gets canceled all the time. So you're just like, okay, I don't want to. Like, I'll never hit on comedy girls. I'm just like, I don't need it. They're almost rearing to go sometimes. Like, they're almost ready to cancel you. Some girls that I know in like writing in comedy, they're almost like threatening it.
Yeah. Look,
and then they're like, oh, you don't want to date me? You only date white girls, or you only date like these girls? I'm like, homie, you like half threatened to cancel me one time, like just over nothing, just over a weird thing. It's like, I can't.
Had this convo yesterday with some comedian friends of mine when we were writing, and they were saying like, one of them was saying like, it's hard for female comics because there's so much of like, dudes trying to be creepy to them at like spots 100%. And stuff, or be like, do the Weinstein shit. Like, you want to get 10 minutes on my sold out show? Like,
100%.
Come over to my place. And
no, I've
for
heard
that reason,
there too.
There are terrible things that happen. And so it's like, I don't want to obviously contribute to that. I know I'm not going to put anybody in a like precarious or compromising situation, but I also don't want to put myself in a situation where I could even be accused. So like, there's female comics in the scene. Like, there's one female comic in the scene who like, we all look at her as like a little sister. She's like 19. She's like kind of quirky, and nobody's like trying to get at her like that. I wouldn't even give a female comic a ride home by myself, because I'm not gonna.
No, give her a ride home.
I'm not going to. Short of me literally filming the entire car ride, I'm not gonna do it, because
Marco,
it's like, because I know I'm not gonna do anything, but I'm not gonna. Sorry, I'm not like. Maybe you could say it's mistrusting, but the high low of it is like, if I do the risk benefit analysis of the situation, I know that I'm a good guy and that I'm trustworthy, and I know that you're probably a trustworthy person who's not going to make a false accusation against me. But if you do, I'm powerless. So I'm just going to play it safe and not associate at all. I'm friendly when I see you in a public setting where there's a bunch of people around. Hey, how's it going? I'm not DMing you. We're not hanging out privately. I'm not giving you a ride. Call it paranoid, call it whatever you want, but I'm not, You can't really knock me for playing it safe. Like,
yeah, you gotta, yeah. It's honestly, it's just a bad idea to date other comics. I feel like too, because then once they break up, I'm on stage. I'm like, I'll be doing a show with one of them. They're doing 10 minutes ripping the other person. Then I got to go to the next show. That person's ripping 10 minutes on this person. It's like there's no HR department. They're just mad and depressed and roasting each other. So I actually I think dating is probably just a bad idea inside of comedy anyway. Like it is pretty. Everyone's very unstable, honestly. Like it's dangerous.
yeah.
Like even if you do fall in love, you're like, oh, someone should have a job. You know what I mean? Like it would be easier if someone had a job.
Yeah, and you
broke.
You were saying about the Tinder thing too. How old are you, Amish?
41.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. How I feel like I've been surprised by you telling me your age before, because I always think you're like 30.
I know.
Anyways,
that's why it's so hard. Go out, dude. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Like I was just okay. So okay, creeping on. That's why I never creep on girls inside the scene. But like, even if I'm out, like, but you know what happens? I never creep on them. Then they're almost mad at me for not. Like they're almost mad that like, oh, you think you're better than it?
This is the thing. It's a two-way street. Everybody acts like you had some magical crystal ball that you hypnotized these women. You're 41, Amish. If you had your Tinder minimum age set to 21, okay, that's a legal age. Don't be mad at Amish. Be mad at whoever set the age of consent or whatever.
Yeah, it's at 21.
It doesn't change.
Just because you think it's gross. It doesn't.
Once you're an adult, legally, you could go and commiserate with anyone of any age. It's not like a sliding scale. So, and here's the thing. I went on a date a few months ago with a girl from one of these apps, and she was 22. I'm 25. So 3-year difference. She was saying how her roommate the same night was also on a date from one of these apps, and her roommate was 22, and the guy she was going on a date with was like 33. So the girls, like, you realize to match with a girl on Tinder, like Amish, for you to match with a girl on Tinder who's 20, that means that girl also has her age limit set up to your age. It's 100%. Not like you pulled her out of obscurity and you were Marco, like, you're freaks. Mine now.
They're fucking freaks. They want to do it. If I'm out and someone hits on me, it's always like a 21-year-old. No, always. It's like if someone's kind of smiling and like just very flirty and touchy, it's always like a 20-year-old. I was out once. I remember this girl goes, I like your, because I like dancing. I think it's important to dance.
Yeah.
I go dancing. Again, even I go dancing. Who goes dancing? People in their 20s. Other comics, other female comics, like, wow, you're going there? But like they're all babies. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, hey, dance then. Y'all don't dance, so that's why we got to dance with. Anyway, I'm out. I'm there. I took a comic with me, two or three comics, and we go to this club. This girl goes, I like your dance moves. She starts backing into me. This guy, this comic, he goes, but Amish, aren't you like 40? Like, he just ratted me out. And the girl's like, I don't care. I don't mind.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I think there's some bitterness when you get older, especially as a guy, because when you're a guy in his 40s, chances are you're making way more money than you did when you're in your 30s or 20s. Chances are you're looking more distinguished and sexy. You have like a gauge on your health, your fitness, your home. Like you've had enough life experience that you're sort of saged, but you're also like, you're still hip. And so I feel like there's more 22-year-old girls who are interested in guys in their 30s and 40s than there are 20-year-old guys interested in women in their 30s and 40s.
I see. Here's where I'd say here's the interesting thing. I think the guys are, but the women are like, no, like they won't date them. I think that would be a happy reunion too. If some 20-year-old guys are banging like 40-year-old women, then everyone be happy.
But you don't think the 40-year-old women are interested in that?
Dude, they go 1 year younger. They go, ew, that's a baby.
Yeah, no, 100%. So it's like when it works for them to like older guys, it's okay. But when a younger girl likes an older guy, or when you're a guy and you would like a younger girl, it's not okay.
It is like people are just trying to get in your head. It is like a lot of cancel culture shit. Like people are just trying to get in your head. Like, that's very young. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's cancel. I think it's a cancel. And you're like, it's not a cancel. Like, get out of here. Stop thinking about it. You're driving yourself crazy. You're making yourself sad or something.
My perspective
is that you didn't even want to fuck me. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Are you gonna take her place? No, shut the fuck up.
What do you care? Yeah.
Like, my perspective on this has only changed in the last like half a year because I was dating a girl who was almost 5 years older than me.
Oh, I love the episode you talked about this.
And I realized, dude, I realized like my error, which is in 10 years, I'm going to be 35. 35 in a man's life is like your peak. Probably not even at my peak.
Yeah. I mean, it just seems like it keeps getting better and better, you know? Like at
where you
40, you'll maybe physically peak. You'll maybe physically in some ways you'll peak at 35. But if you keep yourself tight, no, but because actually everyone else looks like a filthy old uncle, actually. All my friends that got married, or even not even, some of them aren't married, and they'll just never have sex again. They're done. They're like, they just look like
it's sad.
Like, well, I missed it.
The point I'm trying to make is like my grandma on my dad's side was 47 when I was born.
Okay. Wow.
And in 10 years from now, if I was with the same girl, I would be 35 and she would be 40. 35 for 40 for a man. Look at you. You're 41. I thought you were 30. When you're 40 for a man and 40 for a woman, I feel like are different.
Yeah, it's one of those unfair things, I guess. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it is. It's unfair for sure, but I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is, I guess. Yeah, no, and then they get mad. It is like they're in the friend zone now. Like remember that whole friend zone shit that happens in your early 20s as a guy. You're sexually 14s, early 20s. You know, it happens. Like, look, I'm not saying it's okay or like whatever. It's like you shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't be pining over someone. You shouldn't be hanging out with someone. If you're her friend, like just make your move, and then if it's not happening, it's not happening. Don't do this thing of like keep hanging out. Like I don't
exactly.
But you get caught up in it when you're in your early 20s. I feel like
you circle like
women,
the shark.
It is right. You want to be you're trying to be that circling shark. So and the women were so wise. They were like, no, every girl who found out about, like, I think friends are, every girl from day one was like, that's wrong. You have to move on. You have to, like, they had great advice. They get to 40, they're doing fucking friend zone. It's like, hey, what happened? Honestly, the body changes, the biology changes, and they go, you know what? I'm friend zoning. Fuck you. Like, they'll do it hard, and it'll be just as weird. Wow, it just keeps kicking me out of my green screen.
It did that to me too. It's weird.
Why is it StreamYard?
Anyways, sorry to kind of get back on track here, talking about like the cancel thing and like how I've strategically been trying to like kill off
such 3D chess, dude. You're doing 3D cancel.
Yeah,
chess.
like I've been trying to kill off people who follow me and subscribe to me, by doing certain things that would be deemed as like aligning myself with something cancelable. Posting my picture with Chris D'Elia, posting the thing praising Russ. Posting that I'm not doing MLM content anymore because I realized something.
Yeah.
What I realized was in my pursuits as an anti-MLM creator, I've garnered a lot of people who follow me, not all, but there's a significant number of people who follow me who don't actually care about the research that I've done to provide information to protect consumers from pyramid schemes. What they care about is seeing me villainize someone in a video so that they can cancel someone.
I know. Oh my God. That's it. Dude, I think it's such a great move that you're moving away from it. Not to say that it's not God's work. It is God's work, but it comes with all this stress. You know, it comes with a lot, dude. And I tell Steven the same thing. I'm like, you're going after these guys. They've doxed a couple of times. They've done this. It's God's work. It's great.
Instagram getting taken down, defamation claim, copyright strike, privacy complaint, lawsuit.
WFG3 WFG3 is gone.
It's down in Canada. It's still up if you use a VPN. But yeah, down in Canada for a defamation claim. It's like, you know, there's that stress, but that's not even the real reason for me. For me, I can handle all that. I don't get like, you know, if somebody says something that's shitty, I just block them and then never think about it again. Like, you know, if one of my favorite
rapper masculinity. You have a real rapper's masculinity and a toughness to you. This is amazing. I had no idea. I always saw you as a lover boy, just like, okay, I'll do it.
I am a lover.
You are a lover though. You are.
I am a lover.
You are, yeah.
But I mean, people are layered. Tupac wasn't always on his thug life. Sometimes he was on his dear mama. I mean,
this is a balanced masculinity. I think some people are being pussies and some people are being overly aggressive. I think you have you're balanced in the sense that you're saying, like, I'm willing to explain myself. I'm willing to say whatever. That's why I thought, I mean, you are saying that you think Joe Rogan went too much with his apology. I feel like you seem reasonable and you're very upfront about like, this is where I'm at. This is what I believe in. So
yeah, dude, I'm not on some like, I'm not trying to be anything. Like I cry, I feel feelings, I love, I'm not out here being like, oh, this is soft, that is a pussy shit. I'm just like aware of what's going on, I feel like, and my how I respond to things is based on what I want to do, not what anyone else thinks. Like one of my favorite things to do when I see people comment, like if I see someone comment a long thing on one of my videos that's in defense of an MLM, I'll read the first line and then I'll just delete it.
Dude, this guy's Jordan Peterson. I'm like, bro, you wrote a novel. I can't do it. And he kept going. I'm like, I have to say, like, I'm not reading this. Like, I can't, like, my job is reading. I can't read your arguments on why, like, I need to respect Jordan Peterson or whatever the fuck it is. It's crazy. But yeah, some people are sadistic. They can't let it go. You can't make everyone happy, especially the people that are at these extremes.
No, I can't.
And,
I can't.
Yeah, like they're at the extremes, and like literally nobody will ever make them happy. Like they have to go in and. I mean, I hate to say meditation again, but like they need to do some mental health practice.
For sure. Go to therapy.
It does seem like they're depressed. Yeah.
Go to therapy. I went to therapy starting last year, and I finally read this book that was gifted to me by one of my yoga teachers called Nonviolent Communication. Those two things together really changed my life, bro.
Nonviolent communication.
Do you know about it?
Dude, this is pathetic. I'm a meditation coach. I'm buying it right now. How do I not have this?
Oh, is exactly bro, it'll change you. It'll change your life. It'll change your life.
Wait. What is it? Nonviolent communication.
Yeah, by Marshall Rosenberg.
It's so tight. That's such a tight title, man.
You'll literally cry listening to it because you'll realize, oh wow, I never learned how to communicate.
It's so true, dude.
It's
so true.
Anyways, let me just explain myself a bit here.
Yeah,
at the end of 2019, near the end, or I guess halfway through 2009, that's the book right there.
Sick, yeah.
In 2019, at the beginning of the year, I was just live streaming with my friend Philip, who had a YouTube channel, and that's what I was doing. We were just live streaming and whatever. Then he moved away to BC, Vancouver, and I then started doing my own YouTube videos. My fourth YouTube video ever was a pyramid scheme video, WFG, whatever. It sort of did well. It got me monetized right away, blah, blah, blah. So I did another one. After that, I didn't do another pyramid scheme video for 11 more months. I never put one out because I didn't want to pigeonhole myself, and I would rather the slow, steady growth and be known for all the things I wanted to be known for than just that one thing. I started doing stand-up. I was doing that for like months, really getting into it. And then COVID happened. So there was no more stand-up shows. I had no more opportunity to film the videos that was like me going to these group gatherings and stuff like that. So I said, okay, the pyramid scheme videos is something I can make from the comfort of my own home. So let me just focus on this for the in the meantime. And the meantime turned out to be like a full year because,
COVID. Yeah.
Because COVID. And so fortunately and unfortunately, I looked at it like this. Okay, if the videos do well, which they did, I'll build up a whole bunch of subscribers. After that, I'll pivot and say, hey, this was only a temporary plan. And I've not even said anything otherwise. I've said along the way on my live streams, this is never the long-term play. I've wanted to make music, do comedy, make funny videos, and just have fun. And that's what I want to do. My live stream, I never talk about pyramid schemes on my live stream really ever. We're like,
it's so fun. It's good.
It's fun. We just have fun and laugh and watch Darman videos, and like I have green screen scenes, and like we just do bits, right?
Yeah.
And so I said, you know what? Let's say I build up my audience to like 100K subs, and then I lost even half of that by pivoting. I would be okay with that because that means I started 2021 with I think 20K or 25K subs. Yeah. Now I have almost 60K a year later.
Wow.
And I'm happy to lose 10K. Take 10K.
You're real. You're real. Like
because look, if I keep
you gotta always be Marco.
Exactly. If I keep doing the MLM thing,
yeah,
sure I'll get views, sure I'll make more money, but that's not actually really doing anything to help my long-term goal. Like there's no shortcut is all I'm saying. Like you could, and we've seen it with big celebrities before. Just because Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan at basketball, you don't get to just switch to baseball and still be Michael Jordan. Yeah. You got to put in the work from day zero the same way. There's no shortcut. There's no workaround. There's no shortcut. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm grateful that I was able to like pay off my debt.
Wow.
I was able.
The channel makes money, like live.
The channel makes money, like live streaming. Yes, I was able to make some money, pay off my debt. I was able to like upgrade my setup, so I have like a good camera, everything like that. like, I'm okay taking a pay cut if it means like doing what I want to do. Because when I started YouTube and I was struggling and broke, and every month I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll go homeless this month. Like, I still enjoyed myself more than when I was just being bombarded with messages about pyramid schemes and making a good amount of money. Honestly,
your day is fighting. Your day is fighting. It's not healthy, you know?
Yeah, no, that too. And like, I don't know, dude. It's nice to have people recognize me out in public or whatever and say, hey, I saw your video about whatever. But what I really want to hear is, hey man, I heard your song. That shit was fire. Or I saw your video. That shit was hilarious. Or I saw you perform stand-up last night at the thing. That was awesome.
Yeah. Like the anti-MLM, it's such a, like, I want to honor them for like the great work they're doing. Like, they're doing great by doing it. Like, you did great and they did great, and like, it's got to be stopped. But it is such a lost cause too. Like, nobody gives a shit, man. It's like they don't get it. And there's people doing it, and they make the home documentaries, and I feel like that's good. And it's like, sorry, but yeah, it's a lot. It is, because you are, even as I'm editing so many videos, I just have sitting in like editor that's like an attack on someone. And even as I'm doing it, I'm like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know if this person is so evil, or or if it just seems like a lot. It takes a long time to do it. Research has to be tight, obviously, but it is also like, and then you see all these YouTubers just with like heavy mental health issues too. So,
well,
Silly Goose Time, I think, is powerful. And
yes, dude,
Leah for that. That really, I see that. I do have his influence on me too, man. He's so tight,
dude.
Podcast.
I love his podcast.
He's so tight. Like,
you're spot on. You're spot on. And here's the other thing, like the sort of senselessness with the anti-MLM content is, there's a ton of other people doing it out there.
Yeah.
Way more frequently and consistently than I am. I've already put out all the information. Like, every one of my videos, I make the same points. If you don't get it by now, sorry, I can't help you. And also,
you can't help them. They want to go.
Yeah, and also, this is me being self-full, not selfish. This is me being self-full here. Let's say that we were actually successful, we being the anti-MLM crowd. Let's say that we were actually successful in getting the anti-MLM industry completely abolished, but we've built our entire platforms off of that content. Now what?
Yeah.
Now you've just put yourself out of a job effectively, which is also, I mean, that's a great defense for people who say that anti-MLM creators are just trying to slander people to make money. I mean, they're fighting in pursuit of something that seeks to make them self-unemployed. So that's obviously a moot point.
That's true.
But
that is a moot point,
I want to make money, okay?
Yeah.
And I want to be known for what I want to be known for.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Like,
it's almost like that's your public service karmas. But then your proper karmas are like doing the songs, doing like the Silly Goose Time. It's a great show, dude. And now, you know what? I've got to do my meditation live. I've been doing it twice a week. It's gotten like up to the tightness that I need. I have sketches made, and I can repeat some. I can just do new sketches I think I can even get to the point where I do new sketches every week. But like, yeah, I just got to go live. That's it. We are here to create like there's a beautiful creation calling inside of us to be let out.
Yes.
And that's what we have to do. It just can't be done like that, you know?
And here's the other thing I want to say too, Amish, which is really the driving force behind like my mobilizing and deciding to like change. And like, I made a community post the other day on YouTube where I said like, hey guys, just so you know, I have no anti-MLM content planned for 2022.
I saw that.
So if you're only here for that, like, please do me a favor and unsubscribe. Like, it's no beef, but like, I've learned it's most important to follow my passions from now on. And that's what I'm going to do. Dude, I've lost like almost 700 subscribers since then. I'm so happy. I'm so happy about it.
Get rid of them. It's so smart. It's so smart.
Because now, like, let's say I even lost 8,000 more and I was down to 50K even. That's way more people than I started with back in 2016 when me and Philip were trying to like figure out how to get our music heard. And by getting rid of all those MLM subscribers, now my click-through rate is going to be better. And I'm going to start over the course of this next year, I'm going to start getting rid of the MLM followers and gaining people who actually like my other stuff. And the main product is so good.
The main product is 3 live streams a week at Always Marco.
3 live streams a week, daily clips on my clips channel from the archive of live streams and the present live streams. I have a whole bunch of like funny videos that I'm editing right now that are going to come out. Music, like, yeah. But here's the thing I was going to say.
Yeah.
Here's the thing I was going to say. You talked about how you know people who are like your age that you went to school with or whatever, who have just gotten like gray. It happens quick. Some guys really age like, I mean, not even just guys. Some people age like milk after high school and they really peak in high school. Like I remember a couple of years ago, I saw an old friend of mine at the Apple store and it had only been like 4 years since I'd seen him. And he was like bald, fat. It was sad. It was really sad. Now, here's what I want to say about this. When you're in a tough position, like I'll use me as an example, right? When I was like struggling and I saw that I could focus on the MLM stuff and make money, it's really easy to justify saying, oh, I'm going to temporarily focus on this. And then once I'm comfortable, I'll get back to that. And then you end up getting a fancier apartment, which requires you continuing doing the thing that you said was only temporary, or a better car, or you get into a relationship where now you have 2 mouths to feed, or you get a girl pregnant where now you have 3 mouths to feed. And eventually that thing that temporary job that you said, I'm just going to take this until I'm going to set myself up. I'm just going to set myself up. I'm sure you've heard people say that. Then I'm going to get back to.
They never come back. They never
come back to it.
They go do their dad's business. They're done. Some people get married. They're done.
Suicide. It's suicide by a million different little concessions that you made with yourself. And you don't even, it's slow. It's very slow until one day you don't even have the room for that dancing or that art or that music or that whatever the thing was that you started out, because you spent so much time getting yourself set up that you played yourself. You set yourself up in the other way. Like,
yeah. You set it all up. You set yourself up as this fake person. You're not living what is in your heart. It's not.
I'll get back to it, but I got to take this job right now. And I got a girlfriend, so I got to keep doing this a bit longer. We're gonna have a baby. We're gonna move. And it's always like another concession you're making. Yeah. And then like, there's no shortcut. I got to go to school for this because my parents want me to, but I'll get back to the da 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 da. Wow. And then I gotta get the job to pay off the student debt, but I'll get back to it. And then now we're 30, and then now we're 40, and then now we're 50,
and the whole life goes. So tight, dude. It's so.
And true. I've felt myself. There's been moments where like my spidey sense has gone off when I'm in a relationship or when I'm sitting on the couch. There's been moments where my spidey sense has gone off, and I like, that's so Raven, see a future where I'm this fucking loser that never fulfilled his passions, and I just got some girl pregnant, and it like scares me. Yeah. And what's that saying? Give a weak man cheap entertainment, regular sex, and enough money to pay his bills, and he'll throw his ambitions out the window. I've 100%. felt myself becoming that guy at times. And I've been mean to
girls who are like just so in love with me, and I'm like, hey, you're gonna spoil me, baby. But I don't say you're gonna spoil me, baby. I should have said that you're gonna spoil me, baby. But at the time, I was just like, yo, get out of here, get a life, leave me alone, and then break up with them. But it's like, yeah, dude, they you get spoiled in life, man. I remember I was acting on this kid's TV show for 5 years. Everyone I know in acting who does this, they book a big TV show. By the time they come out, they're like like they went to jail. It's like institutionalized. You're like, they go to jail. Like,
yeah.
How do I work a thing? Like these guys are like, so how does a camera work? It's like, idiot. You just been pampered for 5 years. You got to stay in the game. Oh my God. I'm talking to myself, dude. This has happened to me, but it happens to everyone, man.
But you've seen it. I'm sure you have friends who like, they were going to get into comedy, but they just had to continue being a lawyer.
At least I'm here, baby. At least I'm here. There's nobody else, man. Nobody else. Everyone says it. They're like, man, I love that you do that. You have balls. I always want to do it. And I'm like, well, you're going to think about that for the rest of your life. Just do it.
It's scary, dude. You only get one chance at this, really.
Yeah. It could be such a magical, fun journey, like it could be such a silly journey. And instead you're just choosing to be like, well, I don't know.
Dude, there's been so many, like literally I don't even believe in God, but like sign of the cross. There's been so many times in my life where like I could have got a girl pregnant by accident. Like I could have made a wrong move, and the entire thing that I'm trying to build now would not have been possible.
100%, dude. And my family's always trying to make me feel guilty. Like, oh, you're irresponsible and you didn't keep the relationship. And I'm like, no, I'm responsible to my correct karmas. I'm doing what I need to do. I can't, like, I don't want to be married to someone. Why would I do it? You know, but there is so much like that. You're saying, do my friends say it? You know, it's so sad. I know I have friends that like, they don't want to be married to their wife. So many. We
That's
know one
sad.
guy, actually. It's so sad, dude. We know one guy, he passed away, actually. He died, but the guy was kind of a G. But anyway, he died. There was like very shady circumstances around his death and like life, whatever. So his wife starts like looking into like, what happened to my husband? This guy had another wife and another 3 kids at another apartment in Rexdale.
Wow.
Like he just had a whole other family.
Wow.
Never told the wife. The wife's like, I love him and he's my everything and we love each other. And this guy just has been like just another wife, legit. 2 kids over there.
Wow.
Yeah, there's so much of that. There's so much like hiding. It's like you have to be honest and live your life and do what you want to do. And dude, that's beautiful, man. I have, now that you said this, my meditation's going live. This is enough of this shit. I don't know why I'm scared to do it. People that come love it. It is for the loving kindness mentality, but we get people that like keep repeating. Like I said, we got an energy update this week. These Pleiadians came in, gave my higher self, interrupted the stream and gave us like a little charge of a little boost of that source energy, that loving kindness. So clearly and he said they're watching, you know what I mean? They think it's tight up there. And dude, they're like, you got to keep it going. You got to keep rocking and rolling this thing.
This is an MLM guru bar, but it is still a bar in the right context. Fear, false evidence appearing real.
100%, dude. Wow.
People scared of their judgment. It's usually anytime someone's paralyzed into like inactivity, if you really had a conversation with them about it and peeled back the layers, usually it boils down to them having a fear of judgment from others, whether it's their parents or their spouse or whatever. That's sad what you said, that like there's guys that don't want to be married to their wife. Like
they hate it, dude. They're just having sex with hookers all the time.
Meanwhile,
they can't even go out. And like me and my boy go out. We'll go out with them. And it's like, hey, can we go out and just hang out somewhere? They go texting. Did you get one? No, texting. Did you got one? Okay, no, I got one. Okay, cool, let's go. And then they'll just all go and fuck the same girl. I'm like, yeah.
And I think that's why people who hate their lives try to grandstand and make it seem like people who aren't living their same life are actually the ones who lose it. Like I think that it's a comforting lie they tell themselves. Oh, Amish, you're 40 and you have sex with hotter young women. You don't have a bitch wife nagging you every day and kids crawling up your legs screaming. Oh, your life must suck.
Honestly, dude, they're so sweet. Like nothing. They're not bitter at all. They're just happy and they're fun. It's like fun and happy in a way too. But not to knock anyone who's older. But honestly, they don't want to fuck me. And then they're mad that no, a lot of people, dude, I can't believe how many Indian men are like, I had to get married. Why aren't you getting married, idiot? What are you, stupid?
Well, sorry you hate your life, bro. Sorry that I'm lit. Sorry that I'm 41 doing whatever the fuck I want.
I do what I want, baby. Like, why are you living like this? And the Buddha never said to live like this.
Dude, it literally makes so much sense now why you look 30 despite being 41, because you're not in the fucking matrix of like, marriage and mortgage.
Marriage, mortgage, materialism. Wow. 3 bars. Marriage, mortgage, materialism. No, actually, I'm gonna put that in my lesson.
That's a bar. That's a bar.
Marriage, materialism. Wait. Say it again. I got non-violent communication already here.
False evidence appearing real and marriage, mortgage, materialism.
Materialism is the matrix. But no, marriage, mortgage, materialism. That's sick, dude. Fear. I know. I love the fear one. That's a classic. That's like a poster. You could that is a poster too, but that's a tight one. But this is my digital ashram. This is where
it's sick. I gotta join your meditation one of these days.
Yeah, come to meditate. I think you'll really enjoy it. And I'm getting it tight and down to like 45 minutes to an hour. So it's like quick in and out, but you got to meditate anyway, you know?
I'm actually really curious to ask you, by the way, so just in wrapping up that thread, if you're only subscribed to me for MLM content, please do me the biggest favor and unsubscribe. But if you want to see more funny content and like videos and stand up and music, please stay along for the ride. And like, also the last thing I'll say about that is, all these people who are like up in arms that I'm not doing MLM content anymore, these are names and usernames that I actually don't recognize. Like the people who really support me and have helped me like pay my bills on my live stream and shit are the goons who don't care about MLM content. It's like you gotta
they love
your goons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you gotta feed the goons. You know what's incredible actually. No, and then we can totally wrap this thread. But you know, it's an incredible piece of advice I got. You know, this guy Robert Greene. He wrote a book called No More Mr. Nice Guy.
I'm reading Mastery right now.
Sick. Okay, cool. I think his name is Dr. Robert. No, maybe it's Dr. Robert Glover. I forgot his name, but it's this guy who wrote a book called No More Mr. Nice Guy. And he has the best. He's such a sweet guy. Such a great advice. He basically says, like, guys, he's on a stage one day. He's like, guys, stop running after girls who don't like you. Find the who loves you just the way you are. That's what you want to build a market of. You want to cultivate that. Why are you rewarding people for not loving you exactly as you are? This is the problem with half of the man. They're just they're caught up and they're chasing someone who just said not interested, and you don't even know why they're not interested. You're taking it personally. You're making stories. You're chasing someone around. There's someone who just is gonna be. It's so true too. Like I think there's a song with like they say love is like a charity. It is like it should be like a charity. Like you shouldn't be like, come on, have sex with me. Like get the fuck out of here, dude. It's gotta be like silly.
I'll be the first to shed my tough shell and admit that I was a huge simp. Like I didn't even realize.
Me too, by the way.
I didn't even realize until like 6 months ago that I am the prize.
It's so funny.
I didn't even realize.
What you do with your girl about your ex is so funny, dude.
Dude, I literally like saw a thing in Discord from way back in like early 2020 that I posted, like referring to myself half jokingly as the simp king, and I saw that and I was disgusted. I was like, what the fuck? I said that. And here's the thing. I just never really put together that I was the prize, because we're taught, I feel like from a young age, that it's like happy wife, happy life, right? Like put women on a pedestal.
Mortgage materialism.
I am, dude, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, I'm still going to be fit. I'm still going to be young. I'm still going to be like, I'm probably going to be making more money. Like I haven't had a job in 2 years. I've been a full-time content creator and I'm only 2 years in. I only just got an actual legitimate camera that wasn't my phone or a webcam like a few months ago. So you think 20 years from now, I'm not going to be like excelling?
No, you'll be a G, dude. You're going to be
I'll be a fucking G. So it's like, why am I chasing a girl? Like since then, I've adopted a new thing. You might think it's crazy, but I don't like girls' pictures on Instagram even.
No, you can't. You have.
I don't even like on principle.
Yeah, you can't. I unfollowed all the booty people. I saw this black dude on Joe Rogan, by the way, and this is why Joe Rogan is Bropra, or Oprah for bros.
Bropra.
I said Bropra. This great guy was on, and he goes, "Brother, you got to protect your semen. That nut is your energy source, and these hoes on Instagram, they're trying to make you spill it. That's what they want. They want to own you. They want that nut." Dude, so many people have done great rants on like, you got to keep your nut, dude. Because it is like, and the crazy thing is like, when you got it, it's like they know. That's crazy. But it's like, they were like,
dude, this guy's when I was like 19, 20, and a girl would tell me like, you don't have to wear a condom, I'd be like, woohoo. Now I'm like, you're not going to get me. Now when a girl says that to me, you know what? I see her face changes to Agent Smith from the Matrix. You know how he can like shapeshift? She's Agent Smith. I'm like, I see what you did there. You're trying to delete me out of the game right now.
You're trying to get a kid, cancel me and shit.
Yeah. Amish, I wanted to ask you about I saw that you've been doing ice bath submersion, and I'm really interested in this because I've been studying some of the sort of cold water exposure and Wim Hof breathing for a while. I've been a fan of Wim Hof. And like I've stopped wearing a jacket outside, and I've been doing cold shower. And I just wanted to know. I haven't done the cold plunge yet, but I just wanted to know about your experience with that because I'm really interested about the cold exposure.
So I'll tell you what it is, and it goes along with no nut philosophy too, because no nut in the meditation game they call it sexual transmutation, and they call it like basically cultivating a strong positive masculinity. Now the thing about how we're built is that we need suffering to become more masculine. Unfortunately, the only way the culture lets us have suffering is through games, sports, but also through like being a lot of guys you'll find are aggressive. They're aggressive about like the people who say, I can't make art. I got to go make money. I got to take the market and make money. They're being aggressive in a way. They're being like, they call it like toxic masculinity or whatever, but they're basically like their masculinity is off. And so they're being overly aggressive or they're being pussies in some way. So this is a harm-free way of building up your capacity for suffering, because you jump in the water and the first 30 seconds you say, oh, I'm going to die. You have to face it. Face your death. even when the cold water hits you, you say every tingle, you feel it after 30, 40 seconds, you say, oh, God is great. You feel like that energy in you. It comes back. You know what I mean? And that's what they're trying to go for. There's a more scientific way to say it. It's more about, there is a whole science to it about your immunity and like your blood flow, and like it helps with inflammation and stuff like that too. But I would say spiritually, if I could describe it, it is a way to, like we were saying, you book a TV show, you just start banging some hot girl, you're not going to do shit. Honestly, it's like the worst thing that could happen. If someone too hot is like down with you like that, they could really take over your life. They could just start saying like, really, you're going to go out instead of me? The cold water.
You're going to go edit instead of watch Netflix and fuck me? I've been that guy.
You're going to do that to me? And but then over time, no suffering capabilities. It's all just, I get whatever I want. I get sex whenever I want. I get this girl, like we just eat, watch Netflix, whatever. Lazy. You get soft. You get lazy. The water, it gives you a fresh suffering. Also, breath holds are good for that. So in my meditation, I do a little bit of a breath hold just to show people like just watch yourself suffer. Because in your life, you're going to have to, anything cool that you want to do, it will require suffering. Like, we still have to be fucking man to execute in this market. Like, you can't without it. It needs our masculine energy. And our culture is either telling us to completely turn it off, or some people are rebelling against that and being like, overly, I feel aggressive. Practices like this, they build up that masculine strength in men and women. They build up your masculine strength, the ability to face fear, overcome it, and like to fight through it. It gives you that ability without having to hurt someone else, A lot of people have to go to war to learn that shit, Oh shit, sorry. Are you muted?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, yeah.
From the way that sounds, it almost seems like not so much like, I don't really even like so much the idea that it's like a masculine thing, but I think it's a human evolution thing, right? Like, if survival of the fittest, like you have to be able to overcome obstacles and discomfort in order to survive. Like, the strongest survive. Yeah. So I think for men and women, right? Like, anybody
women, because we all have masculine and feminine energy, and we want to have a good balance of it in us. So men and women have it. Actually, like, Hindus have had trans people and non-gender binary people in the culture for like thousands of years, because they almost see everyone as a little non-gender binary, and God especially, because we don't have a male God.
Right.
We have this, like the Tao, a feminine. It's technically a little more feminine, but it's not even feminine. It's like, it's just this loving energy. That's the Tao that makes us alive. And it contains both energies in it. The energies splitting up are like, actually, like, we're meant to have both. We're meant to be not. Yeah, it's crazy. Some like conservatives are going to hate this, but in Hinduism, God's non-gender binary. God jumps back and forth. Actually, this whole world is God. So it's that God is animating everything. So yeah. Also,
very cool.
Like, here, it's like you have this dad God in the sky watching you masturbate. What are you doing? This, that, whatever. In that philosophy, this philosophy of non-dualism, where everything is this loving energy, everything, we're all animated by God. We all are God in a sense. In that philosophy, all sex is masturbation. It's actually the whole purpose of this place is masturbation. God has come out here, and our creations are like a higher form of it. Our artwork is a higher form of it. And it comes with even they say like an orgasm too, like basically this whole simulation is here for us to play with each other and have these great moments.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you actually about the semen retention thing you talked about. Is that something you practice? That's never something that I've been attracted to.
I practice it. I practice it in a sense of like honoring whoever is going to be nice enough to have sex with me next time. It's almost like I'm thinking about them, and I will pleasure myself, but I won't let it spill. I try to, and even with girls, I try not to let it spill. I try to, you know what's actually really nice is when they start saying, please, can I have it? Like, they will start. They'll be like, please, I want the
So what's the science behind, like, what are the scientific benefits of not busting?
Oh, it's pretty bro. I think it might be bro science, but not nutting in the Buddhist sense is equivalent to, like, with weight loss, people say like, don't eat certain types of food, right? So they're trying to get the benefit of like weight loss out of their diet. They're adjusting their diet. But in Buddhism, they also teach like, don't put too much salt in it. Don't even put too much lemon in it. Because once you get used to an extreme taste, then you'll want that all the time. So their attitude is eat basic, simple food. Like, don't even try to get the salt. Like, that's just another karma that you do. But same thing with having an orgasm, they see it as like a big release of this dopamine and like this joyfulness that now you're going to lose in your life. Like you want to take that energy. They believe like try to take that energy and bring it into the world. But I don't think like there is a lot of bro science around it. Like there is a lot of people saying like, if you like, I remember when I was a kid, my mom tried to sign me up for this. It was basically like a cult, but it was like a Hindu cult, but Hinduism is like open source for that shit, for like cults. Like you can just sign up and make a thing. This guy, he's like a semen retention guru, but on the cover, it's just him and a bunch of kids. I'm 8 years old. I'm like, this guy's a 100% child molester. 100%. I'm telling my mom's like, you stupid. Like, she's just so mad. She's like, you have no respect. These are great. The Hindu masters, the on the cover. So he's like this, no muscles, just total flab. He's like this though. Kids hanging off of him, whatever. And his big tagline is, one drop of my semen can burn a hole in a rock. And I remember being like, hey, I don't need it. What good is it? What good is this power? I don't need it. That's what I told my mom. She was pissed. She was like, you shut up, stupid. You don't have any respect. You did that.
That's insane.
That's the sales point. I got to find this brochure. It just came in these, like, she just brought it home one day. She's like, look at me. Look at it.
I don't think I'm prepared at this point in my life to abandon busting because like I
have a hard time with it. I struggle with it myself.
For me, I don't have any, I'm not flexing. This is just who I am, but like, I don't have any like vices. Like I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. I never have, and I don't ever see myself doing it. Wow. But the one thing that it's like the one like earthly, and it's natural, you know what I mean? Like it's an earthly pleasure that I indulge in is masturbation and sex. So it's like,
that's very healthy that your mentality is like, it's a healthy, beautiful thing that you do. Honestly, I think that's good. Do you do it with porn? Because I heard porn has a negative effect.
I do.
Right. Okay, cool. No, listen.
But you know what? Here's the thing. Like, I've heard people say that pornography is like bad for you because it'll subconsciously change your expectations and hurt your ability to like actually bond with someone. But I look at porn the same way I look at like an action movie. Like it's entertainment. I don't think that when I get in the car, it's going to be Fast and Furious. The same way I don't think that when I have sex, it's going to be an orgy.
Yeah, I think there is a little scaremongering on the anti-porn thing and the no nut thing. Like I recognize that it's bro science mostly. Like I don't know if there's necessarily like I said, it's the same amount of benefit as if you just stopped eating like salt and too much sugar. You know, like on your taste buds. Like, I know people who stopped eating sugar for a day, and then when they ate a cookie again, they're like, it's too much. You can't eat this. And I think that's better. That's healthier for them because instead of creating this up and down in life, like where you always need this blast of joy. So that's the only benefit, but there should not be any shame. You know, like one of the things I'm such a meditation coach now, but one of the things that I learned in the Buddhism class is here we believe that that you're born with original sin. But over there, the Buddha says you're born with original perfection. And what you're not supposed to do is judge yourself. Like your biggest sin, and Jesus teaches this too, actually, but the biggest sin you could commit over there is judging yourself. The judgment's almost bigger than the sin. Yeah, like you did a thing. Cool. You shouldn't do it again, but you still are not allowed to judge yourself. And you're not supposed to do it to yourself. And as a society, we shouldn't be doing it to other people. Like when we put someone in jail, we shouldn't be just idiot. Like it's a lot of that attitude. You know what I mean?
If shame doesn't help, yeah.
The added shame doesn't help, right? Like it's not good for anyone. And I think
don't cancel yourself. Don't cancel yourself.
That's what's happening. People they're scared you, and then inside your mind you're canceling yourself.
It's sad. I've been surrounded by so much positivity as of recent. Like me and Philip always send each other positive affirmation voice memos and like texts all the time saying like, you know, one of the things that I started saying to myself probably in 2017 that I've been on and off with, but more on than off. Only off, ironically, when I'm in a relationship that's draining me. But saying to myself, "You're the best. You deserve the best."
Wow,
that's me a lot. Like actually going in the mirror and repeating to myself, like, and like me and Philip will say to each other, like, "You're the best. Like, you can do anything." Like he bought me and him the membership to this like Chet Hanks membership thing where we've been doing like. I've been doing like one-on-one Zoom calls with Chet Hanks recently. That's sick, and it's like so positive and like, yeah.
And you can pull the clips and you can just take the full teachings and put them up. I saw some of that. That's great. That's actually part of the value. Like, what is a couple? Like, can I ask the price or no?
I actually don't know because Philip bought it for us.
Wow, what a great friend! What a beautiful friendship. And it's so good to have friends like that, man. I am actually now texting people LK, loving kindness. So now, like, I have certain friends that are, okay. Like, we'll see each other's posts, be like, okay.
No,
then
like
okay.
we were talking about the subtle effect that like negative affirmation has, because friends will razz each other and be like, you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit. It's like we do the opposite, because maybe it does nothing to plant these little subtle seeds, but maybe it does something. And if it is doing something, I'd like the seed that's planted to be positive.
100%, dude.
But
and
speaking of seed, yeah, dude, I use masturbation as sort of a tool, because I've been going hard like on my physical fitness these past couple months. Like I'm doing boxing on Monday nights, and then 3 other days of the week I'm in the gym doing like weighted training.
Yeah.
And I find that masturbation, like before I go to sleep, helps me to like sort of relax my muscles and like recover for the next day type of thing.
Wow. Now that you've said this, I'm definitely gonna do it in the next couple of days. Like, I haven't in a while, and I do feel like I miss myself. You know what I mean? Like, it is a loving kindness towards yourself. It's not something that you have to do, but no, I don't do it that strictly. Like, it's never been something that I'm doing so strict, but I do find it's nice with performance, and it does keep me motivated to get out and meet girls, because like I said, nothing's coming through on the dating apps. Whether I put 19 or I put 35, nothing's coming in.
You know what I've always noticed, and maybe this is like, dude, like this is actually like bordering on like me being brainwashed by myself, but I've noticed, and maybe it's a coincidence, but I feel like the more I reinvest into my self-improvement, there's a positive feedback loop that generates dividends with things that I would otherwise be pursuing, like the dating apps. So for example, there was a girl that I went to like junior high school with, who I always remembered as being very attractive. And I hadn't seen her since like we were on the same grad trip in high school. I hadn't seen her in like 7 years. And she would reply to my stories from time to time being like, ha ha ha, you're so funny, whatever, whatever. And I was like, man, after I became single, I was like, man, I want to find this girl. And so I had like hit her up. I was like hitting her up, trying to like make plans with her. Mind you, hadn't seen her in 7 years.
Right.
The day after I messaged her one night, hey, let's make plans. What are you doing this week? The next morning, mind you, I haven't seen her in 7 years. I've never run into her. I've never bumped into her. I've never seen her. The next day I was in the gym on a day when I felt like I didn't want to go. And I finally pushed myself to go to the gym. I strolled in late. And
that's good that you still went, though. Give yourself
who walks into the room that I happened to be in at the time that I happened to be there, but the girl that I had just messaged the night before, asking her to hang out. And guess what? She was like severely overweight. And this to me was the universe telling me, see, imagine if she had said, yeah, let's hang out, and you went and picked her up and you were disappointed because you had this expectation of her being one way. And instead, you were here improving yourself, being in the gym, and here you learned that lesson inadvertently because she happened to walk in.
Wow. The Buddha pays double, for good karmas. Like you that is very smart. I remember I saw Joe Rogan talk about this too. He's like, he says he's actually pro masturbation, because he's like, if you don't masturbate, you'll cheat on your wife or something. You'll go crazy. You'll be out. You'll do something. I mean, like, you need the release. You need to get it out.
I think the idea behind any sort of, the idea behind any sort of no nut November, dry February, whatever, is to mitigate indulgence. Like, it's easy to overindulge. Yes. So if you're not overindulging, like I said, I'm vegetarian. I don't eat fast food. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Yeah, I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I'm in the gym or like doing some sort of exercise 4 times a week. Like, wow. I'm gonna treat myself to jerking it, before I go to sleep or whatever.
God is great, brother. You deserve it, and I love that. I love that, and I'm gonna do it tonight. I think like you gave me like such a great loving kindness pep talk here, because I'm the coach, but you know what they even teach in meditation? They always say like you're actually always the student.
Yeah. Bars
from life,
Well, I'm learning too. And yeah, dude, I've like, here's the thing. I never put this together too. This was like sort of the whole realizing I'm the prize thing. Yeah. Is like, if you're always responding to a girl right away and you always have time, in her mind, that shows in a way that like you got time.
True.
If that makes sense. Whereas if you don't have time, it's like supply and demand, just like any sort of consumer relationship. If it's more valuable, if it's less available.
Yeah. No, you got to keep your game tight. And
Yeah, like
that's mandatory for men.
I was talking to
No
a
one
girl
will
and
have sex
I
with you.
matched with on Tinder, and she's like, when do you want to hang out? I was like, okay, well, what's your schedule like? She's like, oh, I work 8 to 4 Monday to Friday. Me, I'm only free in the afternoon, and I always have something going on in the evening, whether it's a comedy show, like Monday night, boxing class, Tuesday night, acting class, Wednesday night, live stream, Thursday night, nothing, Friday night, live stream, Saturday night, live stream, Sunday night, comedy show.
You won't
So
get to the Thursday.
I told her, I was like, I could only ever fit you in on a Thursday.
Wow, tight.
I think that's more lit. I think that's
and that
more
gets
lit.
her horny. Then she's gonna be so horny over it. She's gonna be like, I need this man in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that happens even with no nut. Like when you're like, they're almost not used to being denied a little bit. So if you say no, I don't want to, then it becomes like, oh no, challenge accepted. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get that nut. God damn it. So it's good to challenge. Yeah, and we're not really doing them a service by being like fucking pussies, dude. We have to be. You got to be a little mysterious, or nobody could ever fall in love with you, or ever want to do anything like that.
Yeah. NPaz said Friday night fleshlight. Yeah, NPaz recently donated on my live stream to get a fleshlight because I never had tried one before, and he wanted me to make a video about like my experience. And yeah, I have a fleshlight now.
My boy's like a marketing guy for fleshlight, so he actually can give you. He actually gave me 2. They're fantastic.
Oh, cool.
They're really good.
It's not something I'd use every day. It's like more of like a process. But it's like if I'm gonna take myself out on a little day, pour myself a little, make myself dinner.
Yeah. Let it be special. You made yourself dinner.
It's a special occasion.
Wow, Mark, I'm learning so much, dude. That's great. That's so beautiful, dude.
Yeah.
Wow, it's so smart because like it's actually not doing you any good to judge yourself. Like, let's say it's a no fap thing, right? I had to watch myself on that. That like I think I've been clean. I always count I used to count like number of days without spill, but it's been like 60, 70 days. I think I announced it on this show November 1st. And then this girl who never calls me hours later, but like I was just saying November 1st, Steven was like, I'm doing no net. I'm like, I'm doing no nut. Nobody can get this nut. Like I was like, saying like that. This girl who never just dropped off weeks ago and just hasn't even texted back. That night, she's like, hey, what are you doing? Like, let's hang out, whatever. I go over, she got it, and then she never called me back again after that. She literally I think she saw me on the show and was like, I'm getting that. I'm getting it.
Wow.
And she just got it. Yeah, she broke it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, you idiot. Obviously, it didn't even occur to me that she saw the show or anything. But
do you also experience for me, I've always noticed that when I get into a relationship, I start getting a whole bunch of DMs from girls.
They can sense it, dude. That's the feminine energy. They're powerful.
They literally can sense it. And I've always said to my friend Philip, I'm like, dude, like when that girl walked into the gym when I was in there and she didn't look the same, I said I was like, dude, women are such intelligent beings beyond even what's earthly.
Yeah.
They have antennas inside their head that can sense your sauce.
Yeah.
I just recently, another positive feedback loop thing.
Yeah.
I've seen this one girl at the gym, super beautiful, but I'm never going to talk to her because I'm not that guy in the gym that's like, what's up, baby, in the gym. I'm there to be in the gym, not to talk to bitches. And I didn't ever have a icebreaker with her. I went and I'm just going about my life as usual. I went and did this writer's workshop for comedy writing and content, whatever.
Sick.
Last week at this restaurant that I like. We meet up there and one of the girls working, I introduced, talked to her, whatever. She was cool. I felt like I recognized her. And later I realized it's the same girl from the gym. And so now because I was pursuing my comedy thing, now next time I see her in the gym and she's like, hey, what's up, Marco? Now I have an icebreaker where I'm like, oh, I knew I recognized you from somewhere. Man, who knows? Who knows?
God is great, brother. God is great. God. I had an uncle who says, but I'm like, God always making tabulation. Sees the karma, send him pussy.
Dude, it's a bar. I'm out here, and you know what's also crazy? I was just in LA. I was supposed to link up with this one girl that had been following me for a while when I was in LA. She knew the dates that I was going to be there. Okay. She knew when I was available, and I was like, if she wants to make the effort to link up, she'll hit me up. I didn't press her. She never hit me up. We never linked up. When I got back home, there was one day recently where I went on her Instagram and I muted all her shit so I don't even get updated about her story or her post. only a couple hours after I muted her did she reply to a story and be like, was like being flirty in my DMs. I hadn't talked to her for like a week.
Right.
And then
right.
only a couple hours after I muted her, she hit me up like being all flirty. Dude,
They're magical.
I'm telling you, they have a spider sense.
They're magical people. They know they really run circles around us in dating. Like we're stupid. We don't know. And it takes us, that's your power as you get older as a guy, is like you learn more and more how they operate. And there's great books on it. That No More Mr. Nice Guy is a good one. But there's one called that by Sounds True, which is a meditation company, but it's called The Way of the Superior Man. And that guy basically, it's very progressive, but it's a masculinity book. And he basically blames any bad mood on women on men. And it makes sense. He's like, this is your fault because you didn't make her feel safe in this. And so they're saying something completely different.
Cool.
But it's your fault for not making her feel safe. It's your fault for not having the boundary set. It's your fault for not encouraging her. He even has one, the last one I was listening to, he goes, you can never tell someone, I want you to, you can't say like, go work out or you're getting fat. Like it's unproductive and it's just not how people operate. It's not how they operate.
Right.
Like feminine energy, which is in us and them, the way it operates is through encouragement. So you have to say, you look so fucking sexy when you're at the gym. It makes me hard. And then that's fair. That's like everyone's happy there. And you've done your job even to help encourage someone into improving without insulting, kind of like positive communication you're talking about, or like nonviolent communication. Some guys, they roast. That's why I don't really talk to so many comics. There's some I talk to, but some of them are like, it is like roasting, but it goes beyond that. They're like, they hate each other and they hate life a little bit.
Yeah. I feel like that's similar. I've read some things about parenting where that's similar, where it's like, instead of telling the kid, you'll get punished if you don't do this, flip it and say, you'll get rewarded in some way if you do this.
Yeah.
So they're not operating out of a fear of punishment. They're operating out of a motivation to achieve.
We can all rise higher, you know?
Kaizen, right? Kaizen, you know about Kaizen? Japanese mantra, always strive and prosper, basically. Like
it's always like tick, 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 tick. You always have to keep moving up. There's a book called Mastery too. George something.
That's Robert Greene.
I'm listening. No, there's another Mastery though. I'll send it to you. I know who you're talking about. There's another Mastery, short book, but he basically talks about, and this is such a good book for like, if you're trying to execute on a big project, he basically says in your life, you're going to go through waves of improvement. And then you have to be good at stagnation. Most people, they improve and then they fall, and they improve and they fall. Very few people improve and then they sit at a new thing. And sometimes you improve because you can't improve anymore. You need better skills. You need to go learn the violin, or you need to train a little more. And that's what he means by the plateaus. But if you can't do those of like no reward, no like, look at me, I'm killing it, I'm on the come up, just silent, quiet work on your own and improving yourself, you'll never execute on great projects or do great artwork in your life. Yeah.
Bars. Laura in the chat saying, so y'all out here manifesting girls, huh? I wouldn't say it that way. I would say that like when you work on your self-improvement, attracting more partners or more people of the opposite sex who desire you is a byproduct. It's just going to happen. The same way honing your violin skills is just naturally going to yield you better opportunities in regards to violin, maybe a spot in a prestigious orchestra or something like that. It's a byproduct. Becoming a master at something is going to yield dividends in other ways. It's not the goal, you know.
It's not. You have to be in this moment with this artwork, and that should be the only goal. But you know, this guy is just so nobody thinks we're talking about men being like this and women being like this. This guy just talks about anything in terms of energy. And he basically says feminine energy, it's not only like it operates on encouragement, but also if you notice, like it's encouraging you too. So what he says, where you go, you look so fucking hot at the gym. So like girls have told me that, and it didn't occur to me, and I don't think it occurred to them. I don't think this girl read the book. In her the natural, like they're just a very feminine girl. Like when I date very feminine girls, they're not telling me you fucked up, you did something wrong. It's always like, baby, I love you, but then you can do more. You can get it. I think you look so great when you're at the gym. Like, it's like they have a natural encouraging thing, and it's like it's only fair that we give it back to them, or the masculine gives it back to the feminine.
I try to be very careful in these conversations that mention femininity, masculinity, gender, because a lot of it borders very much on like red pill-ism, and like I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in like labeling or like. And a lot of these red pill gurus or whatever.
They hijack it, just like the con artists.
It borders on fake guru, and like they're trying to sell you a course. I don't like that. What I'm preaching here is improve yourself.
Yeah.
And the same
100%.
goes for girls too. Like
don't let the manosphere take improving yourself. Like don't let
why is it the manosphere
be like, we own all improving yourself?
Yeah. I would give everybody the same advice. Focus on your physical fitness. It'll create a positive feedback loop that drives you to pursue your passions in other fields, and
100%.
it'll pay dividends in other ways aside from just being sexy and making money. Like I heard an interesting perspective too recently, which is like a lot of dudes are so obsessed with getting money so that they can get girls. But what you don't realize is that to a hot girl, every guy already has money, because a hot girl isn't even talking to a guy that doesn't. So getting money doesn't automatically get you hot girls. It just qualifies you to try. I never thought about that before.
That's interesting. I've always had the perspective on money that like, why'd you tell her how much money you make? By the time they find out how much you make, too late, we're in love. Most guys turn off the girl. I find a lot of guys that I know, they'll date a girl who makes more money. It's them complaining about it. The girl, their nurturing feeling will also nurture you financially. Like, my baby makes a little less. That's okay. I still love my baby. But then the guy will be like, you think you're better than me? I hate you. Like, because they make more money. But yeah, I feel like it's the guy chasing after the girl with the more money thing. I find girls have always been so generous with their money with me. Like, they're just like, they never expect me to pay for shit. And they're very, unless it's like, okay, this happened recently. This girl came up to me on the dance floor. She's like, hey, want to get a drink? So I go to the bar. This is happening actually quite a bit now with like the young girls. Go to the bar and we're just standing there. I'm like, what are we doing? We're just standing here. And she's like, I was like, okay, so order. She's like, no, you buy me a drink. Like, no, you asked. You buy a drink.
Go ahead, King.
Why would I buy you a drink?
Go ahead, King.
Why would I buy you a drink though? It's ridiculous. But I find most girls I've dated though, like 90%, money's not a thing. In fact, I'm always dating a girl who's dating another guy who's like, how come you like him? I make money. He's just an artist. It's no fair. Like, there's always someone mad like that. It's like, no, I don't think because they seem to be more in the moment. They seem like they're romantics. You know, I know a lot of girls, a lot of hot girls that like, they can't fall in love unless there's a couple of red flags. Like, they need you to be an artist. You give them like a button down, like, oh, responsible corporate. They're just like, not wet. Can't get wet. I just can't. Like, I can't. Like, I tried for my mom and dad, but I just.
Well, that's trauma as well. You know, there's that saying, show me how you were parented, I'll show you how you love. So we often try to give in relationships what we lacked as children. And I definitely have been the person in relationships who's always trying to like pour from my cup and to like just put everything into making your life better and your situation better and helping you. And that's I didn't realize till I went to therapy, but that's largely because when I was a kid, I felt like I wasn't looked out for like I wanted to be.
Yeah. There is it's almost hard to decipher what's clean personality and what's like trauma though. You know what I mean? Like what came out of that, because that's basically what I do with the meditation though. We go back in time because it's like I have a bus and like we go back in time and we play with yourself as a kid. It's a big part of the love.
Oh, I did that. The inner child meditation. Yeah. Oh man, I cried doing that. I cried doing it, listening to this like 45-minute inner child meditation. And I actually fell asleep on the couch afterwards. And when I woke up, it was like, wow.
Yeah, dude.
Wow. Like I saw you're basically supposed to visualize, like in mine, it was like you walk into a park and you see this bridge, and like on the other side of the bridge is like your younger self. And he runs up to you and you like hug him and you hold him and you talk to him. And then at the end, he like goes back to play. Oh man, it's insane.
It's that's what we do at meditation.
Oh, man.
You gotta come, man. You gotta come.
So crazy.
Yo, I gotta run. I'm actually gonna play with my nephew now. I bought him Just Dance. I don't know if you played Just Dance 2022.
I never played it.
Oh, dude, it's so tight. Are you gonna be in Toronto at some point? Because I'm trying to get a venue to let me host a Just Dance show. It's so tight, dude. It's amazing.
I would love to come out to Toronto. I'll definitely come out there.
Sick, man. I'll post some videos of it. I'll post some videos of me and him dancing. This is a poster from a meditation show. I encourage everyone to sign up. It's meetup.com/loveoracle. Also, there's a trailer for the meditation show in the comments. And make sure you follow Marco. I mean, dude, this was bars today. Like podcast. Like this is pod bars nonstop.
This was very dope.
This is a very tight conversation, dude. It was inspirational. Like I charged myself with loving kindness. It's beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for coming, man.
love and kindness to you, bro. Definitely. You're the best. You deserve the best. You can do anything, man.
Wow. That's so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, y'all be kind to yourself and fucking, put that work in.
Yeah. Yeah. And make sure you come back next week. You know what? I might start doing multiple episodes a week here too now. But make sure you come back next week. Why not? Why? But definitely the meditation's got to go live. Once after talking to you, I gotta just put my meditations live. They're so great. People love them.
Look, I view you and Steven as friends. So whenever you guys want me on, I'm more than happy to participate, even if it's not, scam related.
Thanks, homie. I'd love to do your show too. That'd be great.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, man. All right. Peace. Let's end this broadcast. Bang episode. Love you all. Love you all who came in the congregation. You are loved.